soldier. Nobody want it like flat soda. My life is like a movie. All these bitches acting, they about to get cast over. Piece of shit together like a jig. Fuck the job and people at the gig. People fake it, then the mannequin. They only real was proving that they is. Job fuck, but I'ma handle biz. Life up, but I'ma handle biz. Good or bad, real and fake, yin and yang. Only way to exist. In a circle full of soldiers, I ain't have to tell them boys to enlist. No, they hate me bad. Everybody, that was nothing new to Chris.
Alright, what's going on YouTube? It's gonna be Daddy coming to you from the South Japan Pinku Star Podcast. It's gonna be episode number 120, a good number. And I got my guy right here, Quizzy, St. Louis, Missouri. Correct? St. Louis, Missouri, correct?
Yeah, that's St. Louis, Missouri, bro.
Right. So before we get into it, man, because again, this is our first time chopping it up, man. And one thing I just want to get it, like, man, let me get the introduction in. And also, I just watched your right before I was waiting. I watched your video, and I definitely, man, like, people think like you stop being motivated and shit by people because you get to a certain level or whatever. You get a business or whatever, man. Your video, man, was definitely. I just want to say congratulations from unplugging from the Matrix, man, because a lot of people are scared to do that, and it's a motivating thing. It's 10 o'clock at night here. Well, actually, it's 11:21 p.m. here in Japan. I've been up since 5 this morning, and I'm still going, man. And you gotta, we'll get into it, man. But anyway, man, the way I seen your videos, I was just online doing some analytics, and your video popped up, and it was about it was showing getting subscribers or something like that. And one thing I want to say right out the back, man, is like, I'm just glad to be on board when it starts because your shit's gonna get big. I already know it. You got your editing is tight. You got the charisma. And one thing, man, is I see on your channel, you're doing. I can cuss or whatever, man. This is my. You're doing stuff. I try to like not cuss in the first 10 minutes with analytics or whatever. I'll bleep it out. But you're doing stuff that YouTubers they wait till they get to 100,000, then start spicing it up, man, with your editing. Like it was dope stuff, man, and I like that, man. So before we get into all of it, man, just introduce yourself to my crew of people, a little bit about you, and we'll get into it, man. Chop it up.
All right, man. First, I want to say, man, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because not a lot of people can understand that it takes a lot to go into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially being a music artist. So I'm a music artist from St. Louis. And so being a music artist. And doing the video, people don't understand, like 2 or 3 minutes might take 30, 40, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Editing in the studio. So it takes time. And that little trick shot that y'all might, some people might look at it and be like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
And that might take, 20 minutes to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I just want to say I appreciate that. I'm glad to be here, man. Your setup is dope, but a little bit about me, man. Like I said, I'm a St. Louis artist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm from Nellyville, you know what I'm saying? So
gotcha.
If anybody ever heard of that, they know that, Nelly is getting hot in here. He went around the world, so everybody knows St. Louis.
Yeah.
Kind of from that, Murphy Lee, you know what I'm saying? Don't stomp on my Air Force Ones or we might shoot your ass. Just that, I'm 27. I got 2 kids, and like I said, man, I'm just out here trying to get it, bro. Like, it's just a simple thing that, like, if you I got it in my head, like, bro, if you gonna do it, then do it, kind of like Nike, bro. Like,
for sure,
it ain't no games. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. Like again, like I just mentioned, man, like. You said this is like you quit your job again. And I was just watching the video. I was like laughing at it and everything, man. Because you like, I hope I don't have to come back and do this video again and me quitting again, man. And it's like what you said, man. It's all the same. Like this is a little bit about me, man. Before we get into it, this is my 5th year of my business, like official. And I say official, man, because people don't realize, man. Thanks for that. People don't realize, man. You're always doing business. You're always making moves. It's just like if you got a tax ID, now you're official, but. I was making moves on PayPal, and you mentioned that too. Dudes been online wasting all their time and everything, and like you got that powerful computer in your pocket, and you can sell shit on Amazon, PayPal, eBay, all that stuff. And that's what I did, man. So where I'm at right now in Japan, I run a performance shop, but that all started from $5,000, which I made from selling wheels on the side. And I had that $5K in the bank. I could have bought some car parts, some music equipment, or I just put the $5K on the building, and I was like, now I got a month to make rent. Now it's 5 years later, and I'm still kind of in the same position, but I'm growing on and adding on and everything, man. So again, I definitely applaud applaud you for like, again, pulling out of the matrix, man. So like what sparked your idea, sparked your feelings on just wanting to do your own thing, man? I'm just curious about that.
I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say, bro, you in a better position, my dude. Because when I seen your channel, I was like, oh, this nigga is legit. Like, because you know what I'm saying. Like, I every time somebody says something to me, I make it a point for me to go and check out that channel. If they checked out mine, it's just like, you know what I'm saying. That's what it is. And the second that I clicked on it, I'm like, bro, he got the anime in the back. He got the mic set up, bro. This man cocky as hell. I'm like, that's what it is. I'm like, he in Japan. This nigga is living my life. Because, like, bro, from a young age, bro, I've always wanted to go to Japan. Like, that was no faking. And then when I seen that, I was like, bro, that's what's up. And then I seen that you was on the where you was doing the cars and you had so much stuff about cars and it was dope as hell. And some of the races and stuff. I'm like, damn, this man literally Tokyo drifting out. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, I peeped your, like I said, I just looked at some of your music channel. Because, like, before, that's like one thing I want to, like, just go in and shout out all your Instagram and everything. Where can people find you at, man, on the YouTube, Instagram, and all that stuff, man?
Instagram, Quizzy on Demand. YouTube, Quizzy on Demand. And if you want to find my music page, you can literally go to either one of those pages and both of those links will pop up. Gotcha. But if you just want to search it, it's Quizzy, and then you could put a rose emoji behind it. And Rose is my brand. Obviously, I don't have it on. I got on Express, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt like, I'm like, man, look, I don't want to come here looking like anything. So I put that shit. Had a watch today, so I don't got my blue rose on my shirt, but yeah, man.
But no, I'll put all that down in there, man, because a lot of the young cats are kind of lazy, man, so they don't want to type anything, they want to click everything. So I'll put all that stuff down there so that people can follow and everything. And also what I do for, because normally it's my music, the intros and outros, but if I ever got anybody on here that's a music hit, I'm definitely going to intro your music. So at the end, just send me some links to what you want to put on there, and that'll roll in video, audio, whatever, and they'll roll in with the beginning of the video. So that's one thing I do, man. Because like for me, man, and that's why I mean, of course, I seen your YouTube, and then I seen, oh, he's in the music. I make beats. I've been making beats since 2000, but my beats, man, they're not really. I've had a few people rap on them, but I make a different type of like this. It's definitely boom bap, but it's also like an experience type of. It's different, man. So my stuff switches up and everything. It's a standard bar pattern when I want to do it, but most of the times I'll do different things, man. But I'm not here to talk about me, man. But beat music.
No, that's good, bro. Yeah. We just chopping it up, bro.
So I definitely yeah, man. So for us, music, man. What was your? How did you get into music, man? What artist made you want to do it, and what was your first influence in getting into the music game?
Shit, bro. Now you asking me some questions that I haven't even said in elders, bro. Like, one, that's dope as fuck that you know what I'm saying, you got these beats going. We definitely got to talk after
for sure.
About some shit, bro. Yeah. And the second thing, what got me into music, so bro, I was going to Grace. I've always been into music because my dad is a DJ. Okay. He's a DJ from St. Louis and he's pretty big, you know what I'm saying? And so like I was like, he would have pictures of me with the microphone at a young age, you know what I'm saying? About as young as my son, right there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He would have pictures of me at a young age with a microphone. And then I was like, I never really knew, but like just that early influence of him doing that kind of crept me into stuff. Yeah. And then one day, like, I was a big gamer, like, back when I was in grade school. Before I started rapping, it was like 2 or 3 months before I started rapping. I wasn't even really into rap music that much. I was just like a gamer. So I was literally playing like, I think it was Mario Kart or something like that. And my mom, she came to me, she was like, hey, look, I don't know what you finna do, but you're not finna sit in here and keep on playing this game. This is the last game, because I had asked her to go buy me that game earlier. I had beat it, you know what I'm saying, half the game in the day, because I'm a child, so I'm just sitting there chilling, playing the game all day. And she is like, hey, look, this is the last game I'm finna buy you. I don't know what the fuck you gonna do, but we're not buying no more games. Why don't you get a radio or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't you, you know what I'm saying, get a radio, listen to some music. I'm like, I don't want to listen to no damn music, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a kid, I don't want to play games. It's games out. I got a GameCube and shit like that. So I'm like, bro, I don't want to play that. So the next time we go to GameStop, she like, cut it. I'm not buying you none of that. You know what I'm saying? But she bought me a stereo. It was a red little kind of like stereo, like, you know, one of those new ones, not a boom box. She bought one of those for me, and I turned it on, and first thing I heard was 50 Cent, you know, in the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm vibing, and I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I go back to school, and I see these dudes. It's kind of like divine intervention. I seen these dudes rapping, and they was, you know, happened to be my homeboy. I didn't even know he was rapping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm literally listening to him flow, and he like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? When the beat just come on, just, you know, freestyle, just say anything. So I'm like, all right. So, like, I wish I could tell you that this was my big moment, that I stepped up there and I killed it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But actually the opposite happened. I stepped up there and I made a fool out of myself. Like, I'm talking about niggas was laughing, teachers was laughing. I'm like, you can't even laugh at me, bro. I'm a kid. But how the hell you a teacher? You laughing at me and shit like that, bro? That's horrible for my self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? But it was a hilarious moment, bro. And I'm like, ever since then, I made it a point to like write down a rap every single day. And so I start writing a rap every single day, trying to rap it, spit that shit in the school cafeteria. And from that point on and moving forward and moving up, that's what it's been. Like, now I got me a whole studio. Once my mom had got me a computer in high school, I was a sophomore. I've been recording ever since. I think it's been like, I've been recording for like maybe going on 12 to 13 years. Okay. Just every single day, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Lil Wayne is my main, he was like my biggest influence.
Yeah, with that man right there, like, I mean, that's a prime time that you got into it, man, because you got into it right when, like, it was, that means you've been doing it right when it kind of started switching to where it is today. So you're kind of like you're like right in the middle of like the Nas, Mobb Deep, Wu, and all those guys, because that's what I came up on. And then you got, honestly, like, right, because by that time, Nelly was a vet at that time still, and kind of like, you know, not, I wouldn't say fell off, but, you know what I mean, a new guard kind of came in. So like, how do you feel about like the current state of rap, and also like the current state of, like, you know, now SoundCloud as all the stuff around there, then all like now when I started, man, I started with FL Fruity Loops. Now I got like MPCs and everything, so I'm more of a hardware guy. But what's your opinion, man, on how the guys carry themselves now? A lot of new rappers and things like that in the industry overall, man.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna honestly say that there's a lot of talented ass new rappers out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, you got a good and a bad, right? Because, you know, like, obviously, you know, me and you come from an era where, like, you know, me, I kind of barely saw it. I know that you saw it a little bit, and the era was like, you know, everything wasn't readily available for us to just get on here and do things. Like, now I can go to Walmart and damn near build a recording studio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You couldn't do that back in the day. So with it now, there was I say then there was a lot more gatekeepers with it now. Anybody with a mic, any fool with a mic can say that they a rapper. Yeah. Any fool with a mic can say that they do podcasts and they can do anything. But what separates us apart is the people that's gonna actually do it and the people that's just gonna say that they gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. You actually do it. Me, I'm in the studio, I actually grind, and I see a lot of people like Lil Baby, Da Baby, you know what I'm saying? Kevin Gates, you know, all of these, like, they not necessarily new, but I would say, like, these are some, like, they have solidified their success, and they're like at the top, and I hear a lot of dope shit from them. And like, I mean, it's plenty of people. Like, I just used that as an example. Right. So I would say these new wave superstars, you know, they're really like dropping a lot of dope stuff, and they really talking about a lot of political things, and they talking about more things that's not just like the little cookie cutter shit from the hood. Of course, you're gonna have people that turn up in the club, and we love them too, like Club God. Like, I love dude, you know what I'm saying, from down south. He's making ratchet ass songs that I can appreciate. I love that shit. But at the end of the day, you know, we got J. Cole, we got Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying, bro? We got like the people in TDE and the people in Dreamville that's just coming up under them. that I could just respect. And I'm just so glad to be in the age, like Dave Chappelle said, the age of spin. And I'm so glad to be in the age of all of this technology where people can express themselves. Like it's a blessing, bro. It's really a blessing.
No doubt, man. That's all real right there. And the one thing about it, man, it's like I'm asking you a question, man, because we're creative. I mean, we just met, but it's like one thing is a common thing, man. It's like creators is like again the videos, YouTube, the music, and everything. It's one thing that it sets us apart because there's so many consumers out there. There's way more consumers out there than it is creators. For as many people that make beats and everything, some guys kind of stay at a level. They don't really try to push things. And like I know for a fact, I mean, speaking of my own stuff, man, it's like when a guy hears some of my tracks, he's like, man, you just made it. I'm like, and look on the SoundCloud and it says posted 9 years ago, 10 years ago. But it's like it's timeless music. It's my style, and I stay in my zone. And a lot of people they jump too fast and don't establish their thing. So one thing is when you hear Kanye, you know that's Kanye. When you hear Ninth Wonder, you know that's Ninth Wonder. When you hear Alchemist, those Manny Fresh, those guys got their signature stuff. Timbaland, Swiss, like you can just hear a hi-hat, you know that's Swiss, you know that's Timbaland, and a lot of guys don't do that. And it's just one of those things now where like everybody on SoundCloud sounds like Lil Wayne. Or it's like, or they trying to do, and like I listen to your stuff, man. It's like you got your I don't know how long it took you to find your voice, but you got your voice, your style, and I could tell ain't everybody out there sounding like that. And that's why I think a lot of guys with today, man, they just don't really. The technology made it bad, man. It's again they can access it, they can download Pro Tools, they can download free. I mean. Pirated, and I'm not because I did it too. But I mean, I bought it recently. But at the same time, man, the thing with sucks, man, is the shit sounds good because the quality of the gear and the stuff is like you could buy a mic, a little filter around it, and you sound like you're in a damn 15, 20 years ago in the studio, man.
Yeah, bro. Like everybody think that they could, OJ the Juice Man and shit. Like, what I'm saying? Like, cause they think that they could be a dope boy. And then just like, all right, I'm finna go buy the microphone on some hustle and flow.
Yeah.
And just be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that shit happened good for OJ. That shit happened good for Gucci. But they actually was in the studio and they took the time for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I agree with you. I agree with you on a lot of levels, But you know what happened was, like I said, with the introduction of all of this equipment and everything that is so easily accessible, that it's just like people put out what would have like all right, like a studio in the 90s, like maybe they would have did artist development where they would have heard the sound. They were like, all right, this man, this woman, they got talent, but then they would have took them through an artist development and they would have critiqued them in the studio. That's why Pharrell is so popular. That's why Jermaine Dupri is so popular. P Diddy, because they would actually take these artists and they would curate them and they would polish them up before they push them out. You know what I'm saying? And record labels did that, but these artists these days, they got the mic and they put it out, and that's a good thing because now you need a platform or a wave that it don't need Jermaine Dupri to say, hey, look, you're hot. And it's like, nah, nigga, I think that I'm hot by myself and I'm gonna put it out. And that's a good and a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Because then you got this nigga that make, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to throw shade and shit like that. I ain't no big tree, but I'm going to tell it like it is. You got niggas that make, like, the club going up on a Tuesday. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit wouldn't have worked early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then you got niggas that, that could just drop some indie fire shit and just be cold and then just be locked in and focused on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many people I can name, you know what I'm saying? But I just like the way, but at the same time, I hate where we're going and I love where we're going at the same time.
Yeah, speaking on recent stuff, man, because the recent buzz, of course, was that. And also, by the way, man, this is going to be anytime I have music guys on. Now I got I revamped my music channel, so this is going to be on my Pinku style one, and also it's going to be my music channel, so it's going to be a 2-for-1 type deal. So hopefully it'll get more guys over there to your stuff, man. So the recent thing was, of course, the Drake and Kanye deal, and it, like, everybody was pitting them against each other because, of course, they was in the news with their stuff. I don't follow their personal effects, but like overall, man, what was your opinion on? I'm not sure if you listened to Donda and Certified Lover Boy. If you did, what was your opinion on, like, you know, if they're gonna put them against each other, man? How did you feel about both those albums, man?
You know what, bro? I honestly, I know this, bro, and
Yeah.
you know this, right? I'm gonna say something that me and you know.
Yeah.
All right. First is this online life be fake as hell a lot of
Oh
times.
yeah, for sure.
You know, it's
For
like
sure.
you might have somebody that you like, man, that nigga is cool as. Oh yeah, we can cuss. My bad.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that nigga cool as a motherfucker, but then you meet him and he dusty and you know he lame and you be like, damn, bro, you know what I'm saying? I thought that you was that dude, or you know what I'm saying, and he just not.
Oh, that happens, yeah.
And then the life be so fake, and when you get around that Hollywood lifestyle, because this music ain't nothing but just a Hollywood actor lifestyle. Everybody doing antics, everybody doing everything, and I get it because when you talk about millions and millions of dollars on the line, I can understand why they would feel the need to do that. I get it. I'm just not big on it myself. You know what I'm saying? I like J. Cole said, like if I'm gonna smoke a rapper, you know, it's gonna be legit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be for clout and all this shit. So when I see the Donda and I see Certified Lover Boy, legit, I think that they're two great albums in their own right. I have my critiques about them, but I honestly feel like there's a little beef between both of them. You know what I'm saying? That's real beef because I've heard Drake's side, and don't get me wrong, I think it was something like in the sense of you heard what happened with Soulja Boy and Kanye West. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard a little bit of it. Like,
yeah, I'm not gonna. What'd you say?
No, I mean, I heard a little, like, because I watched a bunch of different podcasts. They kind of touch on it, but I don't invest in my time into like find out the details, man. So I know like everybody. It seems like everybody in the industry has some kind of connection with Kanye, man, and like so there's like he's either loved or he's hated, and it's like so like this is weird with him, man. For me, I just listen to the dude for the music, and my opinions on the whole thing. You know, I don't know why they were even trying to compare it because they're two different. They're two different. Like I said on my thing, they're two different demographics, man. Drake appeals to I kind of feel like I'm regurgitating what people would have said, but it's true. Drake kind of felt like he plays to like, you know, the player types, the fuckboy types, and chicks, and that's like his. And I mean, it's nothing against the people they want to listen to it. And then Kanye, I listen to it for the strictly as a beat maker because I'm a beat maker. I'm not a producer. As a beat maker, I just listen to Kanye because his music, man. I don't care what's going on with the dude, but his music is deep. Is deeper than you gotta listen to that thing multiple times, and it's so you know honestly if I'm gonna pick one or the other, I was rocking with Donda because it's simply the production overall.
Oh yeah, the musical sound.
Yeah.
No, that's facts, and I agree wholeheartedly with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think and I agree with you too. Like I'm more or less I don't go searching for the shit, but you know me doing reactions.
Right. You see,
I started to do a reaction on it, and I saw a little bit of it, and it was literally from what I see, it's like it was just some shit that you know probably could have been like it's some shit that they could get over, but they too far apart. Even though they stay next to each other, they might be too far apart. They doing too much shit. They never home. You know, never really be home when you're making that kind of money. So like I just feel like it was some things that they could probably get over. But when I'm talking about the album, like I agree with you. Like I was like I don't see, you know, like the only reason I think that they can that people start comparing the albums is because like literally Kanye West. God damn, I got something here. Literally Kanye West was I was hearing that he was trying to put his album out before Drake dropped his album because you know everybody been waiting to hear Drake for a minute, even though everybody been waiting to hear Kanye. But they want to hear Drake for show. They want to hear Kanye, but they want to hear Drake for show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you. When I heard Donda, I pretty much listened to more tracks out of Donda than I did Certified Lover Boy. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Cause like that, I know there was like that Jail, with Jay-Z, and then he did one with the debate with the baby. And then Hurricane with The Weeknd and Lil Baby. That song was so dope to me. It was like you said, the production, the level of production on that album is just something I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If he don't say a word on this album, this production carries.
One thing I want to know if you can confirm for me, because I just heard it, but they said in the beginning when the chick was saying Donda Donda in the beginning. What I heard, you know, and this is off podcast. I listen to a podcast while I'm in the shop, and the dudes I listened to these Flagrant 2, and they were saying that was actually the last his mom's heartbeats, her last and that wasn't surprising if a dude like Kanye didn't record that, or I heard you could request that. And this is like, I'm like, I hate to say heard because it sounds like you heard some shit on the corner, but this is all online and whatever. And I guess when his mom was passing, it had the heart rate monitor on it. He actually got that, he got the recording of our last heartbeats. And then that was the beginning of the track. And when she was saying that was the cadence of a heart and everything and everybody. So the guys that don't understand what I'm saying is the chick was saying Donda, 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 Donda. That was like her heartbeats. That's some shit right there that's different shit, man. That's different. It's a different state of mind. And like that's something that creators understand. What the layman common people just like, I don't understand that shit.
Right.
So it's just the difference between why he's making millions, you know what I mean, and everybody else ain't.
You know, and another reason too, because I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah.
And another reason too is that's why he's so ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's probably like, you know, he could be 10 years ahead of everything current, especially with fashion. Like if you see his shoes, now the clothes, I don't know about wearing holy shit.
Yeah, especially that price tag, man.
Yeah, no, like that. I feel like when he did that, that's just some rich people wanting to connect with poor people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got too much money.
You talking about like the dudes who wear like the pre-worn jeans and shit? Like
yeah, man, hoes and shit. I feel like, bro, if you want to find some holy shit, I can go get you some of my old catalog for better in the day, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to wear that, but, you know, I like what you said though. I heard the exact same thing, and I feel like, bro, that's why that shit can never be compared. Like Certified Lover Boy is literally about his past relationships, his girls that he was fucking,
right,
or maybe not fucking,
right,
yada yada. But this is almost like a new age. Donda is what I'm talking about. It's almost like a new age Christian album. It ain't so Christian. It's kind of ratchet, but at the same time, it's more about significant things in his life. For you to start an album off with your mom's, I don't know if she was passing away at the time.
Yeah, right.
But, you know what I'm saying? But you probably know a little bit more than I do. But I know that they said if it's his mom's heart rate, for him to put that on the track, for him to actually have somebody, a woman sitting there and say that, and then like the woman even had to memorize, like, you know, like that's not easy. Right. What I'm trying to say, that's not easy to do. And I'm just like, bro, for you to start an album with it, I don't see how can even compare that to a Drake album.
Yeah, and that was crazy, man. It's like when I press play on it or whatever, when I listened to it in the car. Both albums, I was driving long distance, and I listened to it in my studio both times. I was doing my tax paperwork, so I just had that on the background and everything, so I could hear all the nuances in my studio. But again, Kanye stuff, he makes his shit sound good on anything. That's one thing that I don't know how he does it, and that's one thing as a beat maker. It's like, man, I'll play some shit here, and I go outside, and that shit sounds like trash because I haven't like I'm not I keep it real. I make good beats, but the mastering is where people lose out, and that's where your shit goes from here to like down there real quick, man. So I got better with it and everything. But like the thing about it as a creator though, about after about 4 seconds, I'm like, dude, all right, what's going on here? I'm like, dude, this gotta mean something. And then when I went online and I heard that it was his mom heartbeats, I'm like, that. I mean, as a creator, I was like, it makes sense. It makes sense, man. And it's like, but he immortalized his mom in this album. Named their album. The album name is her name. So that's where, like, you know, shit like that, man. It's like we're all, you know, unfortunately, man. I've been to war. I've been to combat 3 times. Survived Iraq 3 times. So death is like, you know, what I mean, it's when I got PTSD. It's a bunch of some other stuff, man. But it's like we all gonna leave, right? And my thing with me, what drives me every day, man, is leaving my mark on this earth. And I know I've done it. I want to do more. And it's like, shit like that, man, is like that's gonna be in history, man. Like that album's like that's gonna be historical, and it's like
Right.
I could tell you're one of those type of guys that you want to be. I mean, without even knowing you, without even giving you a five or a half hug or whatever. I know you're one of those dudes, man. That's why I want to talk to you, because I know you're one of those cats out there that want to leave your mark, and you ain't okay being normal, because I'm not okay being normal. And people like make you feel bad about not want to be normal. I'm like, nah, dude, you go and be normal and sit your ass on the stoop over there, and that's your life. In high school, homecoming was that was the highlight of your life. That's not me, man.
Right. You know what? I want to say, bro, like I said, bro, I can fuck with you, bro, because everything you saying, I legit feel.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. And one I want to say, bro, usually everybody over here know me, you know what I'm saying? And I usually give a big handshake to all my veterans, you know what I'm saying? If you ever was in the armed forces, I don't care what you did. I don't care if you even wrote your name down and then you was just like, all right, I'm gonna go there. And then when you went there, I don't care what you did, but if you literally in the armed forces, I just say I appreciate it, because I cannot sit here and make this music and talk shit and say nigga without y'all going over there and straight, putting y'all life on the line for us, you know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like okay, I'm finna get into some shit.
Oh no, hey man, we can go anywhere you want to go, man.
I don't feel like, I'm just gonna say it real quick and I'll leave. I don't feel like America supports its troops as much as it says support its troops. I don't feel like they do, because I got a generations of guys that like straight came back from every war. Vietnam, my grandpa was in World War II. You know what I'm saying? Over there, you know what I'm saying? And like my uncles, they was in Vietnam. My mom, she almost went into the Air Force, and you know what I'm saying? And my brother, which he's not my real brother, but he was next door to me, and we kind of connected. He was in Iraq as well. And I just feel like at the end of the day, if you go and you put your life on the line for your country, and you go and you say, hey, look, I'm gonna take this gun, like the same gun you got in the back, which is dope.
Yeah.
Take that gun.
That's a PlayStation 2. That's a PlayStation 3 gun, man. It's all good. Yeah. I put tape on the muzzle so it looked like a real one and everything. No, it's button. That's the button right there, and the start button and the trigger and all that stuff, man.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Hey, give me one of them, bro. We gotta play some shit, bro.
Yeah, shit. That's I mean, knowing that, because you heard, I ain't want to like go too far, but I'm a gamer too, man. So I got a whole gaming thing downstairs. Like, actually, what's funny, man, is the reason I sit with you right here, right now in my car shop is Gran Turismo 1. So that one game sparked everything, and it's like when dudes ask me, man, how you get started? I'm like, dude, a video game. And then your mom, like, I'm pretty sure you probably, hey man, this dude making $1 million on Twitch right here playing games. And she's like, playing games? I'm like, yeah, playing games. Dude's making millions of dollars playing. And it's like crazy, man. For me, man, like, man, it's 11:53 at night, and I'm like, I feel like it's about 6 a.m, man. It's like the energy from like shit to come, and then like, I mean, life is life, man. Life is, we all got issues, but I'm just happy to be alive during this time, man. We're getting to witness a lot of stuff, and man, I'm 38, man, and I'm from Baltimore, man, so I've seen a lot, man. I got shot at before I even went to Iraq. So when I got to Iraq and got shot, I'm like, dude, I got armor, dude. I'm good. You know what I mean? It's like, we had a t-shirt on in the hood, and you know what I mean? It's like, all you do is lay down. But yeah, man, it's like, yeah, man. And also one crazy thing, man, like you pretty much been in Missouri your whole life, or you moved around?
No, I've been in St. Louis. You go out of town and stuff like that, but so St. Louis.
The reason I say that, because we definitely well, at one point I was in I did my tech school, AIT, Army call it AIT. I did my tech school in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and I actually liked it there, man. Like, it was when I first got there, I'm like, man, this shit's country as shit. But then when we got there, and I was like, because I'm from Baltimore. I noticed I like not being in a city, so like the back roads are real nice, and we did our training there. So yeah, I was in Lindenwood for about 7 weeks, and like the mornings were weird because it was like the misty dew, and it was in the woods, and we were there on the Army base, man. So I was there for 7 weeks, and I went back to Andrews, where I didn't want to go there. It was in Maryland, but nah, man, again, man, I'm just every time somebody like I said in the beginning, man, every time somebody unplugs from the Matrix, man, and want to do their own thing, man, I'm totally supportive of it. This shit is hard, but at the same time, when you look back on it, man, like it's definitely easy, man. And like I said, I can definitely respect you on the fact you said like dudes want to pay you what they want to pay you, and then like you said, you're slaving, breaking your back, having an aneurysm, trying to grow somebody else's pockets, man. It's like, nah, that's not what's up, man. And I don't care how they try to spin it on you. I lost a lot of friends in this last 5 years, quote unquote. And hey, man, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That shit hard, bro.
Yeah,
like, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard to go through, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, just period, whether it's in the military or not, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to grow an attachment to somebody, you know, genuine love for them, because, you know, like, I say a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, and I'll talk about the Matrix as well, but I say a lot of things, like, especially with men health. I'm a big advocate for men and men health. Yeah, facts, because, like, you know, like, women, children, they love unconditionally. You know what I'm saying? Right. They love unconditionally. You know, your woman gonna love her kids unconditionally. When, you know, the society love women unconditionally. Right. But men, we kind of expendable in society, and I feel like
100%.
The people that, what you say?
100%, man.
Yeah, no, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm a red pill man. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that's one of my red pill brothers out there, we know. And I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the attachments that we grow with our homeboys, especially the ones that are really cool with us, you know, even if it's a home girl, you know what I'm saying? Even if she cool as them up, but the attachment that you grow and you able to talk about your feelings to a certain extent and able to have a safe space with your homie and be like, you know what, man, today, bro, I ain't feeling it. You know, because, you know, you can't really say that to your lady. You're going to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this dude tripping. I need to find the next.
Yeah, exactly.
She might hold you for that first day. Oh, baby. Then you say that shit again, like, babe, how we going to make ends meet today? She like, fuck. Yeah, I'm taking the kid. But, you know. So the attachment that you grow with your homeboy, you know what I'm saying, and y'all go through shit together and y'all TTG for people that don't know what that means. Obviously, it's trained to go, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the military is always TTG. The United States Armed Forces is TTG to the end, you know what I'm saying? But
and what you're saying, man, that's all true. And it's one of those things. It's like Americans, man. It doesn't. Well, that's one thing. Like, you know, all the race shit going on and all that stuff, man. It's one thing that's across the board, and all races, man. It's like they're all men are generally at some point in their life told that, hey, man, suck it up. You gotta keep it all in. And like now, man, I'll tell you the truth, man. Like this podcast has been like, for me, man, therapeutic. Just to talk to other, even though you're in St. Louis, I'm in Japan, we still talking to each other right now, and just talking, man, because I'm by myself a lot as a result of I don't like bullshit, man. Like I did it real quick. So where I'm at, people know when they tell you, hey, man, when you go to a shop, come correct, man, because he not gonna sugarcoat shit. So I'm that guy that people like, they talk about and they kind of whisper and shit. And the other guys like, man, he's really cool. I'm like, because he came to me with the right energy, so I was cool with him. Right. But the energy, man, like I could be the coolest dude or I can be a dick. I can match that shit, and I actually train martial arts, so I can fight too. So it's like the odds of you beat my ass is very low. So I got that extra energy right there. So it's like, you know what I mean? That's
a different feeling, ain't it?
That's my blue belt up there. I got my purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I need to get that. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I need to get that. I don't roll as much with the family and everything. That's whatever, man. It is what it is. But no, man, it's like, again, I'm all about just keeping a straight focus, and it's been for my Iraq stuff. And being from Baltimore, and even my wife, we kind of get into it because it's like, dude, that shit ain't that serious. The bills gonna get paid. You're gonna eat. Like, just chill out, man. And like you say, I can't really, and you're correct, I can't talk to her as much as I want to because she's Japanese and she don't know English fluently, so she has no idea of what I did in Iraq, the shit I seen, and I can't really, and I show her pictures, but it don't really connect. So like, you know what I mean, this podcast shit right here, just talking to you right now, man, for me, it helps to unlock that toxic shit that's inside of you. And a lot of people feel like you're weak if you talk about stuff like that or whatever. It's like, nah, bro, that shit. I mean, I'm 38 and I got like grays and shit, and my beard is, salt and pepper. And I figure that's like 45, 48, and I'm 38, and this shit's already going on.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with the salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I agree with you, bro. Like, all of these outlets, bro, be outlets for people to really just release, you know what I'm saying? Right. Especially somebody like me and you, you know what I'm saying? And I could tell that you're a no-nonsense type of dude because, like, especially, being in St. Louis, bro, like, I done seen and done a whole lot of shit, some shit that I'm proud of, some shit that I'm really not proud of.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Because, you got to eat, you got to do what you got to do. And,
sure.
And music never reflects it. Like, I don't talk about the hood shit that I do or had to do or still do, you know what I'm saying? But I don't talk about that shit because, it's like I want to project something different. It might be some shit that might leak out and you might hear it because, I am from St. Louis. You kind of be a product of where you from at times, and you know how it is from being from Baltimore.
Yeah.
You know how it is. Like
you can't escape that, man.
Yeah, these are tough. These are tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like you were saying about the whole Matrix, and there was one thing that you said, and I wanted to like highlight. Like, bro, you are literally a cocky dude that know martial arts, that been in the military, they got a mohawk, a red. I ain't fucking with him.
Shout out to Mr. T, man. That's come on, dude. Like, that's the only dude, and that's the only dude that coming up watching Rocky. Was that Rocky 2 when Mr. T was in there?
Yeah,
and everything, man. And then I had the reason I did this, man, because this the mohawk, I was like a strap, man. I want to say straight arrow, but. Let me keep it real, man. In Baltimore coming up, I was considered a bitch nigga because I wasn't a corner boy. I didn't go to clubs, but I was a 3-sport athlete. I captained 2 sports. I mean, I was known for sports and everything and knocking people out. But it was like on a football field, not on the streets, man, knocking people out on football. Right. Yeah, so like, you know what I mean? So we won championships and everything. So my school was really big in sports, but we would beat people. And they would go to the club, and I'm like, nah, man, I'm not going because every time we would beat a team, we would go down to the club, we get in a fight, and I'm like, that translates to dude getting stabbed. And I'm like, man, you call me a bitch or whatever, but I'm going home and I'm actually going to work on this Packard computer and learn these computers because computer repair electronics is what I did. So computers and like all that stuff was real. I mean, that's what I did, man. Computers, gaming, and all that stuff. So I was in a nutshell, man. I'm pretty sure it's the same in St. Louis. I was a clown. I was what girls would call that dude's a clown. Or whatever, you know what I mean?
That's back in the day, bro. Yeah. Like, that shit back in the day shit. These days, it's gonna stand the fuck out the way.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. Like, especially in St. Louis, everything used to be cracking. It used to be the riverfront. We had the riverfront cracking with that dirty ass water. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that water so dirty, bro. It's like if you ever watched The Simpsons and that little 3-eye.
yeah.
That was over in all water. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about. But at the same time, I respect that because that's the reason why I feel like we connect is because me and you do the same shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I stayed the fuck out of the way, bro, because every time I was out in the streets, I would get into some shit.
Yeah.
And luckily I hadn't got killed. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been into some dumb shit. And I know that. And
the thing is, it's not even you, it's who you around. Because that's what I think every time I got shot at, except for once. One time I got shot at is because we were throwing rocks at the building and we threw that shit was abandoned. The dude came out there with a shotgun, not really shooting at us, but in a general area. But the other times I was in shootouts, man, I was just there playing baseball or handball or whatever, and somebody else did some shit that I didn't know about the day before. And Baltimore is small, man. Baltimore, that's why the murder is so high because you're gonna do something to a dude on East Baltimore. It's only 5 minutes separating East from West, so that's why for the guys that are listening who don't know, man, that's why the rate's so high because Baltimore is small, north, south, east, west. You can't get away from it, man. So you know what I mean. That's why that's why I stayed. I was in the streets, but I knew where to go, where not to go, and who to be around, and that followed me to being even in Japan, man. It's like I'm thinking about Baltimore shit. I'm in Japan, one of the safest places in the world, but that street mentality, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things you can't drop. So I'm pretty sure it's the same for you, man. Being from St. Louis, it's like we're different where we can go anywhere in the world and we can notice like, hey, man, that dude's watching me, or this car keeps circling around, or this chick is like trying to get me over here to run my pockets for this dude. We seen all that shit, and that's why I think it's different for us. And you know, other guys from Wisconsin. I mean, not that I bring up Wisconsin a lot, but dudes from Wisconsin and Oregon, they just don't. They're not on that level.
Don't get it.
Nah, their spidey senses are low.
They don't get it. It's that street mentality. I can't remember what it was called, but you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think, and that's another reason why I feel like we connect, because we come from the same place, bro. Like, St. Louis small as hell. Like, for me to drive from St. Louis City to St. Louis our midtown is like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? 3, 4, 5 minutes to drive from St. Louis downtown to midtown, and then from St. Louis City to St. Louis County is probably like 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Both ways, or south, and you know what I'm saying? And then East St. Louis is another thing. That's where we have all our strip clubs. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my East Side guys, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my East Side guys. Shout out to all my county boys, you know what I'm saying, if you're watching this. But, you know what I'm saying, we're relatively small, so the murder rate be high as fuck because, you know.
Concentration, man.
Yeah, you know, and then plus it's the money, bro. Like, you know, like growing up, bro, that's what I was talking about. Like, if you seen that video, but for everybody that hadn't seen the video that I did, like, you know, I be bouncing around from job to job, like you were saying, because I'm trying to unplug, but then it's like when I try to unplug, but then I took half the blue pill, I cut it in half, and it's like I took half the red pill, and I stuck it together and popped that shit, and I'm like, and I'm seeing two different realities, and it's weird because I'm trying to tiptoe into the blue side, like, okay, let me try to make a little bit of this blue side work, so that way I can fully, you know, do the red side, but like. Honest to God, bro, if I say anything, I tell anybody to just save up a year of income, and during that year of income, figure out what the hell you want to do. And if you don't know what you want to do, one of the best ways to find out what you really want to do is think of a world that money doesn't exist. Think of a world that, like, every single day you got to do something.
Yeah.
What would you want to do? It can't just be traveling. Because everybody likes to scapegoat and say, like, oh, I'll travel the world. All right, but if you went to every single country, maybe took you 5-10 years, and you went to every single country, now what would you do in the meantime? What do you like to do that wouldn't literally cost money, that you would do every day for free? Now figure out a way to do that shit every day, and then figure out a way to monetize that. That's your passion. Yeah. That's always what I say. And so I'll be thinking in my head, like, look, save up you some money from, a year working. Take that money, do your passion on the side, and figure out a way to monetize it, and then jump straight into it. You know what I'm saying? Jump straight into it. You know, even if you do your own business, even if you start your own business, do that shit, but do something you passionate about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would do music. I would do this podcast with you regardless. Like, well, you know, I'm not getting paid for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in your pocket, so I don't know what you got going on. But just, I know you would do this shit regardless, because this is just.
No doubt, man. That's one. You know, it's kind of weird, man. Because you got the dreads going on right there, and one cat who kind of merged into what I do, because I'm a pro drifter. I've been drifting professionally since about 2015, but I've been doing it for like a long time. So T-Pain recently got into drifting. So that kind of he got Nappy Boy drifting going on, right? So he full bore straight into what I do. So I hit him up on Instagram or whatever, and because everybody was hitting him up, and I didn't realize until about like a couple months after, and it started going crazy. So I started seeing a dude drifting, and he was learning from different guys, and I'm like, and I mean honestly, I mean the race shit, it is what it is, but I'm like, hey man, let me, because I didn't even say the shit about the music stuff, right? Because I know he gets bombarded by the music shit, so I hit him up strictly on drifting, and I was like, if he hits me back up, then he'll learn by osmosis about my music shit, and that's not even I'm good at it, but that's not my grind, and I understand that. And I got a story about J. Cole that kind of made me realize how the industry was, man. But all that shit went, a dude hit me up like, hey man, your solo beat to J. Cole. I was like, nah. He's like, listen to this track. It was my track that I made 8 years ago. But I didn't clear it, and you know what I mean, I hit him up, and he's like, yeah, this artist blah 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 from this company, cleared it and everything. And that's what the I like sampling, but that's the downside of it. Is anybody can go in there and put the shit where you can put your phone up and hear the
Shazam.
Yeah, because I got it on my shit right now. When I'm in a restaurant and I want to hear some shit I want to sample, I put it up there and I save it. But they got it.
Right.
They downloaded the shit, and it's my same beat with some hi-hats changed or whatever. And I was kind of salty over there for a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, that's my track I made 8 years ago.
Right.
8 years ago. And
but that's good though, bro. Yeah. I mean, you ahead of the whole.
But that means and that means somebody heard that shit, and that's what I mean by SoundCloud shit was that moment from there. I didn't post anything on SoundCloud for 3 years after that.
Right.
And it's like, you know what I mean, nobody heard my shit for 3 years, but it's like, you know, whatever. But it shit happens. I got over it because I'm like, hey, I'm getting mad about this shit, but that's J. Cole. That's their grind. For me, I'm doing car shit, so why am I over here sobbing like a little bitch because somebody else cleared the beat and everything and made it? But that was, it is what it is, man. You know, it happens and everything. It's the creator shit. And at the same time, I'm like,
this though, bro. I don't think you know what I'm saying, just because you feel that way, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I gotta tell you, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that because you literally took your time and you put it into that, and that's your baby. Anything that you make is your baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, a job didn't tell you to make that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody didn't force you to do that. You did that. So when you heard that, of course you're gonna want to get your respect. Yeah. And like, eventually you do gotta get over it.
Yeah. And the thing is, when I hit him up, I actually I wasn't hitting him up from like, hey man, that's because it wasn't, because the thing is, it's the rules and they cleared it. I didn't clear it. So they already like, you know what I mean? You know how it works, the lawyers and all that stuff, man. They cleared, they got it. And that's why but the thing about this track, and I'll get off of it, man, because I'm not here to talk about me, man. The track was I sample a lot of anime OSTs, a lot of electronica, because Kanye, Ninth Wonder, all those guys have done the Motown shit to death, and there's nothing wrong with it, but they done all of it, all of it. So I don't sample any of it. I sample shit that's like I mean, it's out there, man. I did my videos. I sample a lot of soundtracks, a lot of like, you know, a lot of shit from soundtracks, a lot of this stuff, just like Wu did, but I don't do the Wu shit because Wu already done that good. But I do a lot of soundtracks. So the shit by J. Cole that they sampled, that was when this group in Europe. This was like their 28th album and like the 28th track on that album. This not some shit you just stumble upon. So it's like, bro, you didn't find that shit, man. I found that shit. And then you heard my shit on SoundCloud and was like, hey, man, flip this hi-hats and then get this fucking thing. And then you use the app where you can find out where it came from. So you can even hide your shit and they can find out the album, the artist. And I hit the artist up, right? This shit was crazy. I hit the dudes up on Facebook and they replied like in 5 minutes, that group. He was like, yeah, you know what I mean? They got it. And he was like, he was like, hey, man, I'm sorry about that. And he was like, dude, hip hop is brutal. And this is like some dude in Europe telling me, an American, that hip hop is brutal. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. No, he says it's cutthroat. That's what he said.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. It is, bro. It's just a lack of respect, bro. Yeah, like, man. It's lack of respect, bro. Like, that, you know, like, everybody be so concerned with making it that the respect just dwindles. And that's one thing, when you said earlier, that's one thing I forgot to say. It's like, bro, we need to give respect to the OGs and the people that did it before and pay homage. Right. Like, if I took something from somebody, you know, like even an ad lib, bro, I'm be quick to say that, hey, I ain't gonna lie, this ad lib was from so and so. I just kind of try to make it my own. Right. But you know, a lot of people they so worried about being the first. Right. And that's what I'm gonna say, bro. They were like, and I ain't in the business of, you know, like, I'm not a gossiper. Right. This is really how I feel. Shout out to my boy Soulja Boy, because he has been first in a lot of shit. He's the reason why I am on YouTube dropping music. I'm gonna say that from the beginning so that way I can pay homage. But one thing that I want to say that I was thinking about, I was literally cleaning up an Airbnb yesterday. Is my you know, it's my partner company, because I do Airbnb, so it's my partner company, my cleaning company. Shout out to Cleaning Prince and Princess. For sure. Yeah, shout them out, you know what I'm saying, black owned business. But I was cleaning up and I was literally thinking about, you know, Soulja Boy's influence, because I was listening to some shit, and they said he was like, I'm the first in this, I'm the first in that, and I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? It must be something there that, like, is something deep down inside of him that he has to overcome because he wants to feel like he's the first in everything. He doesn't feel like he gets enough recognition, and I agree with that. But there's something deep down inside. You know, when you try to overcompensate for one thing, so you go from one extreme to the next. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always got to be first. There's something deep down inside of you that needs to feel that people understand that you were first. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now I'm not going to break down the psyche of him, you know, in the podcast today. But what I'm just saying is that, like, you know, it goes back into the people that stole your music, because it's like, instead of paying homage and saying like, hey, look, I wasn't the first to do this. There was actually this dude, he did it, and I kind of tweaked it a little bit. Yeah. And J. Cole liked it, and that's how we ran with it. Instead of even at least giving you that recognition, they took it and they were like, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why. And that's why it's like, bro, you know, if there ain't no respect there, how the fuck we gonna grow? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I hit up guys because, again, and being I just like sampling, because again I grew up on that, so that was the Premiere and all that stuff, and the Pete Rock, that was all I heard. So when 2000 was when I got FL from my dude Jay Storms and everything. Was called Freelys back then. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that was even. I'm like, dude, I thought beat making was reserved for the dudes in the heavens. Like, that was unheard of. And then when he gave me that thing, and I'm like, and I start clicking on little things and everything. I'm like, shit, I can make. And they were all lame, you know what I mean? Because I didn't know like anything about it. And I start, you know what I mean, doing it. For me, 2000 was when I started, but 2007, I got the MPC because I was seeing RZA with the Roland, but I got the MPC, and that was like one of my shit. Really, it just I don't know what it was, man, but like having that physical gear there, and I played trumpet, and I know how to read music and everything. Having that physical gear there, it took my music instantly to a new level, and people would just hit me up on SoundCloud like, hey, man, how long you been doing this, and how long you been doing that, and this, and this. And I'm like, dude, I'm self-taught. I just, I got an ear for it. And now what sucks for me now, man, yesterday, I'm driving home. I can't hear nothing and not make a beat in my head within 5 minutes.
That's what's up, though. I
can't do it. So what I do is I got my Dropbox. I save it, and then I just send it to my sample box, which has 1,000. It's just something to habit. So I go in that box, open it up, and I got 1,000 songs in there that I can sample that nobody else is sampling from, because I haven't heard it, and it's been 3-4 years since I made that folder, and that's because I'm thinking on some shit that I'm not thinking about the normal shit. And then what I do is I hit the artist up. So I got the obviously the highlight of my career was been a dude named Abel. I forgot when I fucked his name up, but his first name is Abel, and he's a Grammy, Oscar nominated composer. Sorry about that. He's an orchestra dude, so he writes all the notes for the violins, for the pianos, for the trumpets. He's that guy. And the dude hit me up on SoundCloud like, hey man, I liked your rendition. Well, he called it a remix. I'm like, nah, dude, it's not a remix, but okay. Right. And, So he hit me up. He was like, I really liked it. I'm like, man, is this a bot? He's like, nah, man, I like what you did. And he shared it on his page, and that thing got like something like, I got a bunch of, over 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, whatever views, listens. And that was like the highest listen rate. And he shared another one. And then like, I'm like, well, I talked to him, and he's like, yeah, I just got finished working on Madonna. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, dude. And then like and then I was like, well, we can work together or whatever. And they kind of just, it went away. But I'm like, that was crazy that technology, man, is putting you on contact with guys. But it's like now it's so saturated that it's like, what I mean, it's everybody's trying to get on. Understandable. They're trying to improve their situation, man. So now it's just like you just kind of keep grinding and make those connections. And like I say, I'm stop talking in a second, man. But the reason I hit you up, man, is because it's like, my thing is like, my channel only got 7,000 subscribers. I started in 2006. I didn't really start getting busy on it until like 2016, and then I went from 2,000 subs to like 6,000 or whatever, and I'm at 7,000 now, right? And the thing is, and I seen your video, and like people, they don't realize, man, like that shit takes time, and then like they think if they don't blow up in 2 months, they just like, oh fuck it. But I'm like, my podcast, I average about 150 views on these podcasts, but it's like, I know what it's going to become. It's already, if you look at this one and look at my first one, fucking night and day. between the,
Right.
the audio, the what's behind me, and everything. And like I'm like, dude, just keep grinding, man. And eventually I'm gonna meet you because I seen your shit by doing my analytics, and it's like, you know what I mean, that forms a relationship that we don't know where that's gonna go, but it's a different some people meeting. And like one thing I see on YouTube, and I hate it, and I call my guys on it all the time, is like dudes want to be the one so much, like you said with Soulja Boy, they want to be the one so much, man. They don't want to collab, right? And then like they just want to take all the likes, all subs, and like I'm like, bro, collab, and you got double the views, you got your community, his community getting together, and like I got a group of dudes in Japan where they're trying to be the number one gaijin, which is a foreigner. Like, man, I'm like, dude, you got 400,000 subscribers, right? But I make more money in one interaction with a customer by shipping a car out than you make in 2 months, and I got 7,000 subscribers. So like they don't understand. It ain't the subscribers, man. It ain't the subscribers, man.
It ain't, bro. I should have got on here and say Ohio gozaimasu. I know a little Japanese. I don't know too much.
Yeah, but
I know height, and I know.
My shit's a little bit better, but not much, man. But like my whole thing, man, is like, you know what I mean, I just seen the energy there, and I wanted to, like, you know what I mean, introduce you to my and hopefully get, man, at least 10 subs and everything or whatever or more. And I just think it's a lot. I'm gonna do this a bunch on YouTube, man. It's like, and I mean, and also, man, this ain't the last time. I'm not finished. I'm just saying, man, we definitely can do more together and stuff like that. And then, like I said, the music tip, I'll just send you my SoundCloud, and like you can go. I got 100 and something songs there plus.
I want to check it out.
And I got, and the thing is, my MPs over here, I got the 1000, the 2000, the 1 FL. I got hundreds of tracks, man, on there, and it's like I made like 5 beats yesterday in my head. I just got to fire the machines and put them down. But the man, what, like, you know, with you, man, with everything you got going on, man, like what's the, I mean, family aside, man, because I think every normal man, family motivates him, man. But what's your motivation, man, like overall, man, to get up every day, man, and try to strive for what you want to do, man?
You know what, bro? Family, if we gonna put family aside, because that is top tier.
Yeah,
like, you know, my mama, just seeing her every day,
right?
And you know, my kids, that's top tier.
Right.
God, that's top tier on my ambition list. If that gives me that extra push, like when I say that I'm done, that just pushed me. Like, boom, all right, you gotta job my son. You know.
Yeah.
But besides that, I wanna create a legacy. You know what I'm saying? I wanna be one of the best, you know what I'm saying? Coming from St. Louis, you know, it's not a lot of people that are like focused. I want to prove to myself that I can be focused and diligent, you know, and dedicated about something. I want to put out some dope content. I want to change people's thinking for the better, you know what I'm saying? And I also just want to just like, you know, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like I want to just jump head first into this life because like, so like my birthday is June 16th.
Okay.
It's Tupac's birthday. So me and him share the same birthday. And since then, I always noticed, I'm not going to sit in here and compare myself to Tupac.
Right.
But I know that us being a Gemini, Kendrick Lamar being Gemini, and Kanye West being a Gemini, it's a lot of things that I listen to them and I understand in a different way. And I'm like, okay, I can see why he did that. And a lot of people be like, why would he do that? And I'll be like, I don't know, I understand it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just feel like at the end of the day, that's what motivates me. That's my ambition, is just to be one of the best, you know, besides, you know, my family and stuff like that. And just do, and to be honest with you, just do something that like I want to do, bro. Like, I don't feel like clocking in hours, bro. I've been a manager. I was a manager everywhere, bro. I was a manager at Walmart. I was a manager at Walgreens. I was a manager at Dollar General we got over here. You know what I'm saying? At a storage company. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna keep listening. I've had over 10 to 15 jobs in my lifetime. I was at Amazon. I damn near did everything. You know what I'm saying? So from truck driver to just manager.
So real quick on that, man, because again, we're definitely in the same lane. And we look at trends and everything on social media, because that's one thing like that separates us from a lot of people, to is looking at trends on Instagram, whatever, blah blah blah. Like when you and I noticed, I just want to get your idea on it, man. When you post on Facebook, right, you be like, hey man, I got a new position or I got a new job. You see the interactions with people, but when you say you pulling out of the Job Corps to do your own thing, man, how was how was the feedback from people versus like you starting your own shit to you getting another job at somewhere else, man? Do you notice that shit where people, they kind of like the job shit more, but when you start your own business, they be like, nah, man, they don't want to give you that love. Do you see that, or what's your opinion on that, man?
No, I agree, bro. They pre-programmed to think that a job is more valuable than the business. You know, they pre-programmed to think that if you get a promotion that you got 50,000, you know, over in the Midwest, that's a $50,000 a year is a really good job. Maybe in New York, 80 to 100,000, but you know what I'm saying? You know, over here, you know, that's a good salary. They pre-programmed to think that, oh shit, you know, he's better than majority of the people because he got a good job. But they don't understand that, like, even though you might start a business, you might be in a negative the first year. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, I'm year 5. I'm still yeah, shit, man. Hey, but the thing about it, I embrace that shit, and it's just keeping my wife on board, who's Japanese, and like Japanese, like you mentioned, comfort in your video, and I would do that shit, man. Like right before we queued up, and you said it, man. Right before you messaged me, your part you were talking on is like people want to be comfortable, and that's where you pulling out. Being uncomfortable, man, not knowing like, hey man, today is the 20th. My wife's in my inbox right now asking me, hey man, where's the money? This is real life. The 21st, I got 4 days to get a certain amount of money in the bank before, you know, I'm gonna make it happen. I already talked to my customers, got things rearranged. When we get out of here, I'm gonna go home, take a nap, be back in here like 5 a.m, get what I gotta get to get that paid. And like the thing is, man, I look at when some days I'll be mad and I'll just sit. I'm like, this shit's a game, dude, and I'm winning, and I'm making. And this is the 5th year, and I'm on level 5 of this shit, and it's like, hey man, what I gotta do? Move this around, move it around, and that's why my customers, man, like, you know, I like to do podcasts with people because it when I do my podcast by myself, I be in this bitch like foaming from the mouth and shit and cussing. Cause like, and the thing is, they think I'm not angry, man. I'm just passionate about what I do, and I know, dude, again, man, just met you, man, but I know like you know yourself, and a lot of people don't like that you know yourself, and a lot of people are offended that you know yourself and where you want to go, and like and I'm like, dude, I ain't got time for motherfuckers like that, dude. You know what I mean? Only thing I got time for is, like I say, man, is adding you to my circle. Hopefully, adding myself to your circle. And like and that's what I'm doing because I'm losing like the lame motherfuckers, right? But I'm adding on people who I'm gonna connect with. I was just in Atlanta back in July. I flew from here to Atlanta just for 6 days to do an event. Met up with some people and flew back and everything. Right. And I'm like that in the middle of Corona, you know what I'm saying? So I lost over 20 days from my business. Money stopped, but it was like I met certain people there. I met one guy that got like 2 million subscribers on YouTube. He's a big cat and all thing, and the thing about it, we met off camera. I didn't have my shit rolling. He didn't have his cameras rolling, it just naturally happened where he was crossing paths. Yeah, he came up to me, which was cool because he know who I was and I know who he is, and I was like, hey man, props for doing what you're doing. You got a lot of haters on you. Fuck them. Do what you're doing. And he was like, yeah man, people think it's easy and they see my stuff and what I got, and I'm like, nah bro, like. I know what you're working with, man. So it was just cool for me and him to have a real conversation. And I gave him my card and I was like, later, peace, do what you gotta do. I do what I gotta do and everything. So, you know what I mean? Like that shit, you know what I mean? It just happened. I think being in the right place at the right time. If I would have said, nah, I ain't going to Atlanta, I don't meet that cat. It's been some months since we met, but maybe, hey man, maybe next week you'll hit me up like, hey man, I got your card in Atlanta and shit. And people don't realize, man, like that shit. This showing face sometimes and being real and not asking motherfuckers for shit, like that kind of, you know what I mean, that kind of, you know what I mean. Granted, I asked you to be on the podcast because I want to grow this, and at the same time, man, I feel like I like fucking with people I'm growing with, man. You know what I mean. I'm not gonna hit up T-Pain, but that was a little bit different. But I'm not gonna hit up Kanye because he don't got nothing to benefit from me, and I'm not saying. You know what I mean? Well, let me reword that, man, live, man. I don't got nothing to offer him. You know what I'm saying? And for you, man, I'm not and what I'm saying this shit, I'm not trying to sound like I'm Big Doug or nobody because I don't do that shit. But I'm like, I just think, man, like, I like to grow with motherfuckers who are in the same stratosphere, doing the same thing, or on the same stages of doing things, man. So that way we grow together and we're that next wave of dudes doing things. I mean, you're 27 or 38, but still, we're still like in the same far as YouTube shit. Like I mean, only at 7,000, which honestly, man, it ain't. You know what I mean? It ain't. NBA dude started YouTube and he got like 20 million, 20K tomorrow because that's LeBron James or that's Anthony or whatever. That's just it's just how it is, man.
But you know what, bro? I ain't gonna lie. I agree with you, and I know moving forward, me and you, we locked in, bro. Because you know what I'm saying, just off the simple fact, I checked your stuff out. I'm like, bro, this is a black man in Japan doing shit, bro. Like. Most people don't even get out their city. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I was already fucked with that. Then I watched a few podcasts. I'm like, oh, this dude cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what made me say, let me hit him back right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I didn't even wait. I was like, let me hit him back. That's when I hit you right back. I'm like, okay, let me hit him back right now. And I was just thinking, with all the stuff that you were saying, bro, I'm like, bro, 7,000 subscribers is a big deal, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know in a grand scheme of things,
right.
I do it a lot. So you know what I'm saying? I know you know what I mean, but I do it a lot, and I be looking at somebody else shit, and I'll be like, damn, 10 million subscribers. You know, that's 2,000 subscribers ain't, you know what I'm saying? Right. But at the end of the day, I'm like, bro, that's 2,000 people, bro. Literally, if you
that's
got
true,
it,
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? If we put you up into a room, matter of fact, yeah, like we put you up on a stage and we just said, hey, look, you're going to stand here, I'm have you talk. And then we're going to fill the room with 7,000 people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you mentioned like that is, yeah.
That's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Yeah.
You know
well, that's the thing. The thing about that shit, man, is like there's dudes with like that. That's a great fucking point because you got you bought it. I think you're roughly like 28, 29 right now. Like as of right now,
on a good day, 20.
So like the thing is, man, like they would put your subscribers, and my subscribers in a room, and I think we would connect with them more versus the guys that got like 10 million, and their numbers are different. And also, man, YouTube, I think it's the timing, man, because like one thing with like music, for example, because we talking on that. I think, man, I know for sure if I would have started doing the NPC shit back in like the I would say late 90s, early 2000s, there's no doubt in my mind that I would have had like a few beats on a major album. But when I started doing it like in 2007, it was even at 2007 with the NPC and music making was already saturated by that point. Like it was SoundCloud was around, the DJ sites were around, and everything. So it was like the timing. So for the YouTube shit, man, I feel like, man, like your site back in like 10, 15 years ago, the way you're pushing it now, YouTube was like, there was no throttle on it. And they was like letting it, and you see the kids, even they throttle the kids channel now because it was like that little Tyler dude is making too much fucking money. So if you got
them toys, shit.
And then you see all the other adults, which are smart, they all start copying it and they start getting millions. Because I'm like, dude, this dude's getting 2 million fucking views on unboxing the Lightning McQueen, and I'm like, I'm over here, I'm spending $500 to go down south, a little bit down south, and film this event and driving it. And I'm only getting like 2,000 views. I'm like, man, that shit sucks, dude. So it's like people don't notice that too when you got to put the editing in, the software, the electric, all that stuff, man. So
but they in a different, lane.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because like they got a lot of things working for them, bro. Like they a child, he a child.
Yeah, and everybody got kids.
You know what I'm saying? Right, everybody got kids. You know what I'm saying? You got kids, I got kids.
Right.
So
and they be on it.
First thing I'm gonna do is if I look over and I see my child watching an unboxing with a kid on there, I'm not thinking in my head like, oh shit, let me turn this off.
Right.
Yada yada. Kids just see other kids and they like, oh, that's a kid, that's a toy. That's not too hard. It's not too many factors in there to really say I don't like it. But like when they come to a channel like me and you know what I'm saying? Like they have to like us for who we are.
Right.
We are older.
Right.
And I feel like I feel like at the end of the day, I'm not taking it away from the child.
Right.
But we are really putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't have.
People see it, man. People see it. They see it. 'Cause, I mean, the fact that again, at the sub level you're at, at the sub level that you're at and I'm at right now, like generally they kind of bury us until you get to 100K. When you get to 100K, they're like, all right, well, this shit's kind of moving. Let's bump them up. And then my people is telling me like that in my podcast, my dude was like telling me there was Joe Rogan. I watch Rogan a lot. Everybody know who Rogan is. And my shit was right under, because it was the same title. He said my shit was trending under Rogan's. I'm like, that's just dope, because it's like Rogan has this network is vast, because he got the fighting, the comedy shit. And I'm like, I got this many, video had like 250 views, and it was up there. And I have used some of the things like to kind of boost up the things and did some ads and everything, and the ads work and everything, but and that stuff works. But you know what I mean? It's I think again the timing is good. The charisma is there and everything, and I think it's going to be good, man. Because the thing is, it's separating us from the pack, and people are seeing it. And again, like I say, your grind, man. Like your shit's working, man. Because I seen it. And I mean, I'm like on all different places of YouTube, and like, you know, you watch videos on YouTube, and you be like, I'm watching shit on like the day I was watching shit on like if we launch a nuclear weapon in space, what happens? Like shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
what's some of the weirdest things you watched on YouTube? Bro?
Man,
like,
that right, what they call it, man? When you go on that, you go on the time, the right side of the menu, you start clicking on shit, and you be like, how ants make fucking the ant hills and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this shit, YouTube is crazy, because it's like, bro, anything you could think about is on there. And then like, I'm again, man, I'll stop, because I'm just, when you mentioned the subscribers and everything, and I think what it happens, man, was, and I think about that too. It's like people, because there's so many of us in the world, and when you because the internet now shows us how many people are out there for the people who have it, and it's not North Korea where they cut your shit off and only show you the propaganda.
Right.
It's like, man, you're like, man, I'm one of like a billion people, man. What the fuck am I going to do to make some shit happen, or what am I going to do to make it different than the next dude next door to me? And I think the people who think like that stay like that. And the reason why we emerge from that is because we like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to keep putting it out there, and people are going to eventually see it. And for me, man, one thing, being a business owner, I mean, I'm a car shop. My business is I build race cars. So my business is very focused towards building performance cars. I don't sell life insurance. I don't sell, you know what I mean, eyelashes. I build race cars. So when I come home, right, something as a business guy that kills me a little bit, and I think is a good thing. My wife, man, I got fucking Amazon boxes all over the house. I'm like, dude, how the fuck do I get in everybody's house like that? Then when I go to McDonald's and shit, sometimes, I go there and I'm like, I'm in a line, and it's like right now, because Corona's a little bit different. Nobody's going inside too much. So there's 15 cars. I'm like, dude, how the fuck do I get 15 cars? But at the same time, like, I snap out of it, because I'm like, dude, I'm not a Jiffy Lube. My shop is like, I'm building engines and everything. So it's like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks wait time. So I keep like, that's not my lane. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, as a business guy, it's like, this dude Bezos is in my fucking house, man. All in my house. My wife got all this shit in there. You worked in Amazon, so you worked in it. What did you do to Amazon, by the way?
Bro, I was a driver, bro.
Okay. So you handled all those boxes, man. And the thing about it, man, I never hated on Amazon. The shit just works, man. Like, I need some shit right now. I go on Japan Amazon, I order that shit, and I pay at the door like 2 days from now or tomorrow. It's just like making that shit work, and he just nailed it, man. Bezos, that is.
Yeah, he nailed it all right with his punk ass. Like,
man, but tell me the real, man. How was it working there, man? Because I want to know.
That nigga,
dog. Exactly. Exactly, man. Keep that shit real. Yeah.
Man, shout out to him, because he built the business that worked.
Right.
But fuck that nigga, dog, on the ground.
So tell me how was it when? Because I had one guy in here. Actually, he played for the Ravens. He played for San Diego. He played for Tennessee, but he was a manager there, so he kept it kind of, you know what I mean. And he's still a current employee there, and so he didn't really go into it, man. But like, yeah, man, tell me why you mad, son.
Man, look, bro.
That's that Puff Daddy shit.
The truth, bro. You know, I'm like you, bro. I'm tell you the truth. I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit.
Yeah, man.
Look, man, from the second you get in this bitch, they damn near hire you when you walk in the door.
No shit.
You got a driver's license, they hire you. They damn near threw a vest in my face and said, "Could you start today?" It was about the easiest job that I ever got in my life. Now, the second thing, when you walk in there, everything is really cut. It's really clean. You know, they got to keep certain things in order. I would say the positive thing about it is they do provide a lot of people with jobs, kind of like Walmart. You know that you can go there and you can actually get a straight business and everything. And you can, I said get a business. You can get a job, and you can work for them, and I like that.
Yeah.
But the truth is, here's the truth. When I walk in that bitch, bro, the second I walk in that bitch, they'll hand you the shit. They'll say, "Hey, look, we got some packages for y'all today." So they're gonna make y'all sit, and they're gonna make this is just for the drivers. They're gonna make you sit, and they're gonna make you wait. All right, you're gonna sit, and you're gonna wait for a minute. Then they're gonna dispatch everybody because they have like so many different companies inside of Amazon.
Right.
So it's not just one company in Amazon. It's like 10, 15 different types of companies. Like I work for, I'm not even gonna say their name because I'm not gonna put them out negatively. All companies pretty much operate the same. They all operate like assholes. All right. It's because it's the chain of commands. Now you gonna notice when I say this, the bullshit comes from the top and it goes all the way down. Yeah. I'm sure that you can apply that.
Oh, yeah.
I know you can apply that to something. I know that. You know what I'm saying? So at Amazon, the biggest thing is the reason why I just was so pissed is because they throw you in this van. All right. Now you got all the packages that you have for the day. You have these really big totes and these big cases. They put all the packages in there. You throw them on there. They expect for you to throw all these heavy ass packages on the truck. For me and you, that's cool. But I've seen girls in there that could barely lift it and shit like that. And then I would go over there, I would help them lift and push their stuff up. And I would look in the back of this van, and this has pissed me off, bro. I would look in the back of their van, and I would realize what Amazon thought of us. Because I would look in the back of their van. And the back of their van, there would be like, maybe there might be 50, and it could be 2 to 50 boxes in one tote. And then they have like separate, big, really oversized boxes that you can't put in there. I would look in some of these women vans, and they would have like a top row of maybe 5 boxes. 5 totes up at the top, 5 totes at the bottom, 5 totes on one side of the truck. Then it's like total like 14, 15 totes, and then to the point where you can't even walk back there because of the whole back of the truck is filled up. 20 to 50 boxes in every tote. So I'm like, God damn, and I'm like, they expect this girl to hop out they are girls from 18 to 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doing this shit. And I'm like, damn, bro, how you gonna do that? And then doing what we call peak season, which is like, like holiday season. So like in a few months, like right now they're high peak season. You know what I'm saying? So they want to make sure they have enough drivers in there because people are going to be doing their Christmas shopping and they're going to be sending a lot of packages. So every time you send a package, every time you order a package, obviously it goes from one place to a fulfillment center. That's the fulfillment center is where all the drivers are at. So they got like the packaging center where now that's really modern day slavery. When they doing the packaging and all that shit, that's modern day slavery over there. We're the house Negroes, but like it ain't that bad. But
yeah.
So like, but I'm talking about the day that I quit Amazon, and I got a video, I got a vlog on my page. My last day at Amazon, I exposed them. I had 300 packages. I had a 10 day. You got to drop that shit off. We work 10 hours a day. Okay. We drop all that shit off. I had 300 packages, bro. And I'm trying to drop that shit off. I'm dropping that shit off as I'm recording video. So, I'm really behind, bro. The second you get behind, like let's say so they tell you this. They say, don't drive fast. All right. Walk to your stop. Find a good quiet place, a good place to put the box. And leave it there. You have to take a picture of it, and then you leave. You head to the next stop. Now, they say that's the guidelines, but what they actually want you to do, and they don't tell you this. They say run to the stop, but they don't tell you to run. They just say you need to drop that shit off in 10 to 15 seconds. How the fuck am I gonna do that when the driveway is
Oh man, so that makes sense. I see some of the videos of dudes run up to the door and toss this. That's crazy, man. I didn't.
How do you think? Like, we don't just toss that shit because a lot of people want to be assholes.
Right.
It's because if we don't do that shit in a certain time, then guess what? And this is me being honest. Like, this is something I ain't even gonna play with. You don't do this shit in a certain amount of time, they calling you. They like, hey, bro, you're late. You're like, what's going on? Why are you late? And then you're like, all right, let me pick up the pace a little bit. So you pick up the pace, you doing shit, you dropping the boxes off, yada, yada, you taking pictures. They'll call you back. All right, cool, you good. Or they might not call you back at all, depending on your dispatch. They might not call you back at all. But you just know if you don't get that call, you're in the green zone. When you go yellow, you go into red, then if you go into red, they're sending somebody out to take half your shit because they like, hey, look, we need to get all this shit out. You're slacking. And then you might not have a job.
That's
so like
crazy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they work you to death. And I used to think like, oh, you get paid $15 an hour, and then for some people they get paid $17. Fuck the bullshit. For the shit that they have you doing, they need to be paying $20 an hour, $25 an hour. They need to, and then they don't really want to give you good benefits. So I'm like, bro, like at the end of the day, they break you. This is back-breaking work. But the only highlight that I would say is when you come down the street, you are the straight Santa Claus. Everybody loves you. Everybody respects you. You know what I'm saying? You the Amazon guy. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody loves that. But that was after it was 2 jobs that made me say I never want to work in corporate again. That was Walmart, when me being a manager, one of the youngest managers at Walmart, and that was Amazon. After Amazon, I said I'm gonna make this YouTube shit work because I don't want to come back here, bro. I never want to.
And right, man, that right there, man. The story was great, man. For me, man, it filled in a lot of what I already thought it was, and that right there, what you just said at the end, with my family again, that right there, man. That's why people don't realize why I am how I am and why I get stuff done. So that's right there. But like the reason I grind so hard, man, because like after being 5 years of being on my own, like that motivation not to return back to that, man. I don't care how tired I am, dude. I've been up 3 days straight sometimes, man, doing this, but at the same time, it's on my shit. And the thing about it, I know you work somewhere wherever you work at, you've been up for a day or two or more, and you're putting fucking money, you're taking time away from your family, time away from what you're going to do, and you're not making much money, and you're lining up, you're making Bezos fucking millionaire or billionaire or whatever, man. And it's like, man, people are cool with that shit. And like you mentioned, man, like it's like even if you're working and you're grinding, like you still. And I watched one guy. I man, if you haven't found him out, his name is Valuetainment. The dude name is Patrick Bet David, and he gives away all this shit for free. I'm talking about free, no gimmicks. He has Kobe on there, Mike on there. The dude gives out gems, right? I'll send you the link, man. The dude's like, he drops knowledge. And he was like, man, you could be at work, whatever, you got the phone, man. You can still take, 5, 10, 20 minutes out of it and invest into yourself. And a lot of people, they just like, I'll get to it tomorrow. And that shit turn into next week. And that shit turn into, you know what I mean?
Do that shit today.
Yeah, do it today, man. Like, do it.
That's it. That's when people say that. I know you know because, bro, it takes a lot to get up and do this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that shit, people think it's just like you cut it on a microphone, bro. Oh yeah, because if we explain what we do to corporate people, they're gonna be like, whatever. Until you hit Joe Rogan status, they know Joe Rogan, right?
Right.
But like, and shout out to my boy because I listen to him all the time.
No doubt.
But I'm saying like they if you go on and say like, yeah, I'm doing podcasts and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, they be like, oh okay. But then until you say like, no, I actually got a shop. I'm fixing engines. I'm doing this. I'm doing drip. Then they be like, oh, okay, you got a shop. But they don't understand that it takes time to do this, bro. This shit, like this is years of knowledge that we talking about. This is not no cookie cutter shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you can't, any idiot with a microphone can be an idiot with a microphone.
Yeah. But like you mentioned, though, man, like you mentioned too, like that you do like your own, you got the editing stuff. That's like, because like if you look at a lot of the people, man, they got like, and it's nothing against them, man. It's cool to have that. I would kind of like to have that, but my my style, man, is like I like to keep the numbers small as far as the amount of hands in the pot. And so me being able to do the editing, the graphics, the music, all that shit, it just cuts out so much time. So like once we get done with this, like I say, it's about whatever, it's like 12:40, it's almost 1 a.m. or whatever. And but no, it's cool. The cool thing is I make my own schedule so I can push it around tomorrow or whatever what I gotta do. But the it's like I'm gonna get out as soon as we sign off of here. I start uploading because I gotta separate your video from that, and it's because of the delay and everything. So I do that overnight. Then the next morning I come in. The podcast, each episode takes about like, because the way you edit it up, you process everything, it takes about 2 or 3 hours to do everything, right? The editing, doing your thumbnail, and then I always take like some cool shit from your Instagram, whatever, and cut the whole image out and make a PNG file and all that stuff, man. And it looks like something that took us a couple of seconds, but it's like, nah, man, you gotta edit the name in there, get all your information, get like what you want to promote, any stuff like that, put that down in the comments, and then make the teaser trailer, and then put that out, and then like time it with the premiere, and that's everything. Again, that's 120 times I've done it, with the podcast. But you get better with it every time, man. So it's streamlined. I got the batch files already saved. Instead of opening up, I opened up one folder with all the shit in there. So it's kind of like, man, yeah, because the first 30, I kept opening up the files every time. I'm like, dude, I use this shit every time, so make a batch file, and I'm like, little shit like that. But like you said, man, what we do, man, always looks easier than what people think it is. And then when they say you do stuff, then like the podcast, like you said, the podcast shit is getting kind of like everybody got mixtape now. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's kind of, so now it's like, I got one, but I think mine is a little bit different because I'm doing my shit from inside of a performance shop, and I'm in Japan, and I'm the only American in Japan with a performance shop, legal one. And we ain't got to touch on the black shit because that's definitely a factor. And when dudes come here to my shop, and people who have heard it before, when they come here to my shop, I don't know what it is or what they heard, but they think like black dudes or black businesses do like the bottom of the barrel, like the lowest bidder type shit. And when I hit them up, like, hey man, you're gonna spend the same shit you're gonna spend at another shop, and maybe even more because I'm doing it like this, and my shit is tight because I know if I fuck up, it's gonna be magnified. So I got pictures, I got email, I don't do Facebook for no business and all that shit. That way, like when you try to catch me on some shit, I'm like, nah. Let's scroll back down in the email on September 16th at 5:35, I said this, and you didn't respond to it, and it's like, nah, bro, you ain't gonna catch me slipping. That's the Baltimore shit. You get caught slipping out there, you end up in Lincoln Park, and I'm not, you know what I mean? So it is it is what it is, man.
No, bro, no, I feel like that's real shit, real deal shit, bro, and that's why I'm like, when you said that you got a shop, bro, that shit is that's 100, bro, like, cause like at the end of the day, you said the biggest thing, that one thing that I be trying to get across to people, but I can't. I feel like I could talk to you about it because you gonna know. And you said it. We as black men, we gotta be so on point with every little thing, especially with business, because like you said, they gonna walk in your shop and be like, ah man, hey, let me talk to the manager. Bro, I'm the owner,
dude,
nigga. Like,
I've had 5 times. I remember every 5 times I had that happen, man. And when I hit him, I'm like, yeah, I'm the owner. And he was like, then there's the fucking face, man. If I had a camera on my helmet cam, their face be like, okay. And then like they kind of talk, and then some dudes, because of that, they don't come back. So like the thing about it, what it's like this. There's the customers here and the dudes here, like, man, he does awesome work. He's on point. He's very militant. And then there's the guys like, oh man, he did great work, but he was too harsh, and he was this. I'm like, no, dude, because I didn't let you get your way. And like, and the worst I hate was when the black cats, man, the white, whatever other race, they kind of act weird. I'm like, whatever, you can't help it. But I do get really disappointed, man, when I finally do get a black customer, and they're just like, they fuck it up, man. They kind of want to they want to be homeboys and shit. I'm like, nah, dude, we gotta keep that for free. Yeah, they want shit for free, or they feel like because they black, then I'm gonna bypass my system, which is email me, never show up, no walk-ins. Email me, we're gonna talk about it. That way, when you show up, I got numbers in front of me. I'm not doing no guessing shit. And
Right.
I'm not, so it's going to cost you exactly this much to do this job if your car ain't fucked up
That's
previously.
honest.
Yeah.
That's some honest shit.
And the dudes who get it, they love it. So I got all these guys that love it, and I got a little bit of it, but you know what it is, man, and I know you can agree with this. It ain't the lovers, man. It's always the haters that kind of that get you like, man, why am I reading this shit? Or it bothers you. You know what I'm saying? Those three fucking dudes, those three dudes that's talking shit or trying to bring you down. And then I got another cat in Georgia who I talk to a lot, like you said, man-to-man talk, because he runs a business in Georgia, another black guy. And he's like, yeah, man, and this, it is what it is. I'm going through the same stuff. So I talked to him for like 10 minutes, and then I'm on to the next, man. Because if you don't,
Right.
you can't act like that shit don't bother you, because it does. And
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is what it is on that stuff, man. So
And it's hard, bro. Like, I can only imagine how it would be to own your own business, and then two, to be black, and then be black
in another country.
And, bro, I'm talking about like in a country that I remember I met one of the biggest people that I met on YouTube. His name was Tokyo Kuni.
Okay.
He was doing Japan vlogs like 10, 15 years ago, but when YouTube was just like,
right.
He was just getting on YouTube. So he was doing that shit back then when he was just like, I don't know, going to places and going to matsuris. He's the whole reason why I know what a fucking matsuri is. Yeah. And I'm just like, and when you're talking, the one thing that I'm just like, man, you know what, bro? I love the fact that you are out in Japan, you doing your thing, and then you don't accept bullshit, because that sets a standard, because like your work is a lot bigger. I'm not gonna say than you think. I'm not gonna say that because I don't know what you think, but in my opinion, I feel like your work is so big because you are literally setting the example for a black American man.
Oh, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the fact that people can't get over on you is a solid thing, because they're gonna be looking at like, all right, we see rap music, we know that they all fucking everybody's bitches, and they like that, and they like black, they like Kool-Aid, some don't like chicken, bro.
Yeah.
And but now they can see this man, they walk up, they see you, they like, oh, okay, but they're good with business, because I remember that black dude, and he had the shop, and yada yada. He was doing a podcast out of the shop and all this stuff, and he did my car. And every time I go there, it's professional. And you know what I'm saying? That sets, like, people don't talk about pioneers, like, because people think that pioneers was just Martin Luther King. People think pioneers was just like, oh, like it's Drake from Canada. That's like, nah, that's not necessarily Drake. It's the people like us that's putting in work too. Like I said, the 7,000 people in one room.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, you sat there and you was like, hey, look, man, y'all, look, this is how the world is, and your views, and you talking about it to 7,000 people. Even if 500 people are the only ones that listen.
Yeah.
I know this for a fact. A lot of your views, if you like me, a lot of your views come from people that's not even subscribed to you.
That's weird, man. Yeah, it is. And the thing, like my thing on that, man, because I know it kind of, it's like even like I see big channels, like, one thing I stopped doing, I don't, I mean, you say, I mean, of course I put the little buttons there. The YouTube is dope with YouTube got a lot of features in it that a lot of creators don't use, like the cards and I just start using like the biggest thing I told guys is to find your like, it's weird, man. Philippines and Brazil is like, it's Japan. Well, Philippines, Brazil, Japan, and then America. I don't know what it is about the Philippines and Brazil, but I got a lot of viewers there. And
really?
So what I do is I look on the analytics, and then what I do is I for the top 3, I do I translate the titles and shit to like Portuguese. I just use the Google Translate.
Shit.
So like if they see the Portuguese shit, they'll share it around. So that bumped my channel. So I got like 500 subscribers in like inside of a month by doing that, and then I kind of slack on it because I got everything else going on. But what I mean, that's one thing, got a lot of shit going on, man, but definitely got to because I want to say I'm not nobody's perfect, man. So we're not going to be on point all the time with all the things and shit and all that stuff, man. But at the same time, man, I think it's working. Definitely put the time in and everything. I think the channel is going to grow up and blow up and stuff like that. So again, like I say, man, I'm just happy to be on board for the beginnings, because those first ones, they stick around, man. And then like you say, you have like 7,000 or 8,000, you really only got a core of like 300-400 people. And then like it's weird because you see like the dudes who got like the one dude I mentioned, LZ cat, he has like 10,000, I want to say 10 million subscribers, something like that. And if I'm correct, whatever, he got over millions. But when you look, he does his live feeds, he gets about 45K. That's 45K people watching this shit live. But it's weird because he has 1 million plus subscribers, but that's only 40. So that 45K is like his base. That 45K, so you don't get all 1 million people, or yeah, and people don't understand that, man. So you just bump the numbers up and everything, and do all that, man. But like I say, this collab shit, like I say, I know for sure, man. People want to get some guys from my circle over there, because I got a handful of dudes that religiously follow my shit, and then like from yours, man. Hopefully, when this plays, not also, man. Like I said, I tell guys, you can definitely clip this up and do whatever you want to do. I'm cool with cross posting, and I won't like do the whole. I won't actually track you down and fucking put a copyright notice on it and shit like that, man. So,
hey, shit, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Yeah. Like if I ever do it, if I ever chop it up, copyright that shit, bro. Make your money, bro.
Nah,
I'm the type of dude like, bro, copyright that shit. Just allow me to post it here.
You know, the thing about it, man, with this shit, man, is like you give me time out the day, man. So that's why I allow the cross posting, because it's like it's. If people who want to do it, because somebody had one guy upload the whole thing, which is downloaded and uploaded to his thing, and he talked in an intro before it played, and then I had other dudes, man, like where I told a dude specifically, man, I had this happen, man. I don't know if the guy watched my shit no more, but this dude had like 200K subscribers, right? And I'm like, all right, well, I should, he got 200K subscribers, I definitely should get like a bump, and I'm like. It's in my mind. I'm a business guy, right? So the dude, man, like I told him straight up when we started, I'm like, look, man, I don't want your subscribers. And he kind of looked, his face kind of shriveled up, and he was, because I called him before we started the podcast. I'm like, look, man, thanks for being on, but I want to be clear about this. I'm not doing this for your subscribers. And then I guess he took it as don't post. So the dude did like a little picture and did no promotion on them. I'm like, damn, it's kind of. You kind of displayed who I thought you was, man.
Yeah, that's some host.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Because like he wasn't expecting me to be on point like that. He wasn't expecting editing to be tight like that. And a lot of guys, unfortunately, man, all they know from black people is what they see on I don't say MTV. That shit was like 20 years ago, but you know what I mean? What they see is what they see on videos and everything. So they assume everybody's like that. So when I talk again, when a customer shit, when I get kind of, because I can go from normal to being agitated really quickly, but it takes a certain kind of shit to get there. And one thing is like people trying to like quantify my time, and I'm like, look, man, shit gonna go down my way or not at all. So you know what I mean? My wife's asked about this money, right? I turned down a job for $3,800 this month, just because on principle. I needed the money, but the guy just didn't want. I gave him three strikes. Nah, I gave this motherfucker 5 strikes. 5 strikes.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm like, bro, you ain't getting it. Go somewhere else. And then and when I see you around town, just keep walking. There's nothing to talk about. You just ignore my emails. You responding how you want to respond. I told you to call me. And then,
serious.
Right. And the last contact, I was like, hey man, you got to come see me in person the day before 4:00. If that don't happen, then we're done, man. And I'm like, look, man, like you just don't get it. I gave you more chance because it was Corona. I had to stay on I gave him 5 strikes because I was on the quarantine shit. So I was like, you know what I mean? That was kind of my bad with the planning, and I own up to my shit. But at the same time, when I give you the opportunity to get your car worked on and you still want to do what you want to do, I'm like, nah, bro. That I need that money, but if that money ain't worth my principles, I'll get it somewhere else.
You'll get it somewhere else, bro. That shit, bro. The fact that you talking about it right here, like you never know how little clips from like anything, bro. That shit could blow up, and next thing you know what I'm saying, you making more money on the YouTube end, and then you could do what you love in the shop, and then you use that money and the shop blow up and everything, and now you the popular YouTuber with the shop.
You said that shit, man, and that's why, like, again, man, I'm 1:00 in the morning, but the motivation I get from your shit, it's like people who think people think when they get to a certain level. I mean, again, I'm a pro driver. I got pro license, but that shit don't really mean much. It legitimized my shop, and it's something cool to say. But people think when they get to the next level that they don't. I'm like, nah, bro, you still look around, because it's like your motivation is not coming from only at the top. It's coming from all around. And I think if you're just looking upwards, it's kind of a false. It ain't real, man, because you forget. The one thing is, like, I never forget where I come from, and I think people who keep that shit, they're more authentic, and they more like relatable when you keep that. When you start getting all bougie and shit, that's when you start losing that core, and you might get you might get a new group of people. But you know what I mean, case in point, Drake. I mean, we talking about Drake. You know, his song, I don't listen to all his albums, but a couple of his albums just seemed like two of them was just like him talking about haters and fake friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn,
you've been talking about that for a minute.
Yeah. I'm like, you in the industry, dude, and you're like, dude, just fuck them motherfuckers, dude. Like, don't. But you could tell that really bothers him, because he know what he probably did. He probably gave some dude some money. He did this with it, and when you do that shit, you know, you feel a certain kind of way. For me, and I'll let you talk about that if you had that happen to you. For me, it was car shit, and it was me. I was working on all my dudes' cars because I didn't have money. I would work on that shit. They had money. I would work on their cars. I would do the wiring. I would do all this stuff, man. And when it came time to me, I needed help back in the day, and this kind of put me where I'm at right now because I work alone. Hey man, I need help changing this clutch, right? Oh man, I gotta wash the cat, so I gotta do some other dumb shit that is a lie, right? I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna do this shit myself. And now I run a whole shop by myself, international business. And but I took that those dudes blowing me off, and I use that to my benefit versus crying about it. You know what I'm saying?
Use that shit as motivation, bro. Like facts. Like let me ask you, bro. So what's the like? All right, so because a lot of people never get into business. You know what I'm saying? They scared. So what would you be able to tell a person that's thinking about starting a business? What would you be able to tell them? Like, what's some of the positive things that you experienced starting a business, and what's some of the things that you wish that you knew when you first started?
All right, the one thing I wish I knew when I first started. Before I'll answer that question first, man. The one thing I wish I knew was that I thought like getting loans and shit was like a sign of weakness and everything. But then when you really look when you look at the America, we're like $1 zillion in debt. I don't even think they got a fucking number for the amount of money. Like, we're like they ain't even make the fucking number up yet. So it's like all like the thing about the business shit is all businesses, man. Like you get debt, you pay that shit off, and then you get into the next bracket, and you get debt, and you pay that shit off, and you get into the next bracket, and like you keep doing that, and like if you're just staying at the same level, your business ain't really it ain't lucrative, man. You're not doing nothing that nobody want to see. And so I really so the first 3 years of my business was all on my back. I didn't fucking get no loans. That was just making money, putting that shit right back in the bills, making money, flipping stuff. And the one thing about that man is I had to get out of the hustler's mentality, man. Because I was running a business, but I was still running it like I'm flipping parts and shit. And I wasn't thinking about this and that and the next moves. And I'm like, man, let me calm down and think about stuff from a business aspect and like stop. The biggest thing, man, and it's hard, is weird to say, man, but stop chasing the money. Like I say, I turned that cat away for $3,800 equivalent because I take yen, but I turned them away and that job was $38. But the flag. How
much is a yen, bro? Real quick.
So right now, so let's say you give me $380 US. That's about maybe if it's 1-on-1, it's about maybe $420 in yen. So it's the yen ratio. So right now, one yen to a dollar is like 107 yen to $1. So you just divide that, and it gives you the number or whatever, and everything. Or you multiply it, and it gives you like how much the yen is. So for the business shit though, man, like that's the biggest thing. I wish I would have learned sooner because it would have propelled my shit quicker. But I will tell you this, man. This is my second shop. I outgrew my first shop in 3 years.
Oh, that's what's saying. Congratulations,
yeah,
bro.
man. So thanks for that, brother. So that was the biggest thing I thought I didn't know, man. And what's the other part of your question, man? Because that kind of went on that.
So I said, I think you answered like, what's one of the things that you knew?
Yeah.
I mean, what's one of the things that you wish you knew when you first started?
Right.
And then, like, what's some of the positive things that happen? Because I know a lot of times that, you know, we focus on the negative all day, but what's the positive things that happen for you starting your own business? For
positives, man, like one of the things for the positive thing was just, you know, I don't talk to a lot of people like about what my moves, and again, that's that Baltimore shit. Keep it to your chest. Don't tell everybody your moves. And you know, the positive stuff, man, is just like, I wouldn't say like, I mean, I represent my family first. I'm a black guy, whatever. Like that happened to be the race I am, but I represent I'm a Jackson. I grew up and I represent my family, man. And like, that's the biggest thing. A positive thing is like, you actually pointed it out. Creating like a different image for black dudes in Japan. Like that's I mean, it ain't the cars I built, the money I made, I made magazines a bunch and all types of stuff. But it's like when people open that magazine, they see a black dude that's 250 pounds with a mohawk, and it's like, who the fuck's this guy, man? And when I go anywhere in Japan, there's no mistake about who it is. So like, you know, I know you walk into a room and people, oh man, they might not say it to you because they don't know how to interact or how you're gonna be, and you hear them whispering like, oh, that's Quizzy and shit, but they won't really come up to you. And I'm kind of one of those dudes too, man. If I see Mike Tyson in the airport, if we ever get in a close proximity and there's a interaction, I'm just like, respect, handshake. I don't want no picture, no autograph. That's me. I don't need nothing from you because I just letting you know I respect what you do. And they'll probably, this motherfucker don't want nothing from me. And they'll, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that's like that. But setting the tone, man, setting the tone for people to come, and also racing the because there's been some black people before me and other shit, right? But they did shit like one cat, man. I don't, you know, you might not listen to my shit, but dude had a barbershop selling shoes and everything, and I think he was from Midwest, and he just overnight he fucking he just disappeared, left the shop, emptied the shop out, and landlord was like, hey, where you at? He had a loan, and then like right after he did that shit is when I tried to open my shop, and then that shit is small where I'm at, so that shit got around, and the dude was like, nah. You got to be married or you got to have something to hold you down. So when I actually came here the first time in my last shop to get the building, the dude told me to fuck off. And then I got married to my wife naturally. You know, after I got her pregnant and stuff like that, we got married and we came back. When I had her attached to me, totally different. I got the contract in a week. Totally different, man. And that's because
three black people in Japan, bro.
We're like, I mean, to be honest, man, like, man, when you come up, because you definitely gonna come over here. I'm gonna speak that into existence. And the thing about thing about that is you coming over. Also, I got the lineup to the club, so we got all that stuff. Like even though I'm not in the clubs, I know all the DJs. So you doing a spot, all that stuff, man. You know what I mean? So that's already locked. That's already locked and loaded. I'll link you with my guy Wiz. Actually, it's another dreadhead, and and get all that stuff done, man. So. But in a nutshell, man, let's just put it like this. When I got to Japan in 2008, August 1st, 2008, I was in the airport, and it was like two Japanese dudes and a girl came up to me like, Rampage Jackson, I'm not sure if you follow MMA. They thought I was fucking Rampage Jackson because I had Jackson on my book bag.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, Jackson. I'm like, bro. And the white dudes hate it, man. Like, bro, we're just straight up celebrities here, man. Like, without even being, I want to say being somebody because everybody's somebody, but they just the hip hop culture is big here, man. The big, huge. I'm talking about.
That's so crazy that huge, you said that, bro. I was just gonna ask you that. Go ahead, bro.
The hip hop culture, like, I mean, man. I'll link it with my guy Greg. Man, I got all the guys here. My dude Greg, he was a dreadhead, but he just cut his stuff off. But he raps. He's fluent in Japanese. Black cat from North Carolina, raps fluent in Japanese, and just like his style, man, like he's dope, funny style. It's crazy to be how you can do. I'm just trying to learn to speak Japanese. He's rapping in Japanese, saying some cool shit. So like the hip hop culture is big here. They kind of when you don't acknowledge them though, they kind of get weird because like if you go to like a event or whatever, go to a store and they like, you know, they like, yo, what's this? They expect you to be that. And when you're not that type of energy, they're like, man, you're a black guy, but you don't act like, you know what I mean? You don't do this, you don't do that. And like when they figure out I make music, but I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't say, man, I'm not wearing like, you know, jerseys and shit. I'm not looking like the typical hip hop cat. You know what I'm saying? Right. So they think that all guys do that, man. So
right.
Overall, man, the hip hop culture is big in Japan. Talking about clothes, fashion, music, all that stuff, man. So it's just cool, man, to be here and everything I do from music to martial arts, racing cars. I just got into dirt bikes or whatever, man. Everything over here is pretty big, man. It's pretty rich.
I'm gonna link you up with one of my boys because I actually did a song with one of my guys, and when we get off here, I'm gonna shoot them over to you because dude is cold, and I really want y'all to do some shit because, bro, I literally said in my head, I'm looking down because I'm trying to get his page so that way you can actually hear it. Not right now, but you could actually just because he makes beats, but he does like with the little drum machine. Yeah. But he like is crazy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, witnessing. That's what I do. That's what I do. Like check out my channel, man. Like I don't when I actually put up a video that I did me playing in a club, and the thing is I didn't know that I did 2 of these performances, but nobody recorded it. So one is like I just played live for like about 15-minute set, didn't miss a beat. So that's what I do on my MPCs. I actually load up the samples and I play them live. I call it unquantized live. I play them live and then so we do the same shit, man. So yeah,
I want to check that out. I'm gonna have to check that because I checked out a lot of the car. I checked out a lot of the car videos and podcasts. Yeah. But I want to check out the music. His name is Shogun Beats.
Shogun Beats.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send it to. I'm gonna screenshot and send it to you after we get off. But yeah, bro, I'm talking about I want to do a big ass music video and take some pictures. So I was so happy to link up and talk with you because I'm like, when I go to Japan, I want some Wagyu beef. I want fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Hey man,
bro?
like all you got to do is get over here. And once you get over here, man, everything is solid, man. Like I got the connections and everything, and no, it's like I'm just. It's easy to navigate, and the thing about it, man, like the American again, this is not a race thing, but the American style overall, like, dude, you could thrive here because they're timid, and I'm taking all the shit, man. I'm like, nah. My wife's like, we don't do it like this. I'm like, man, I'm fucking American. I live here. I like Japan, but I'm American, and this is one thing about Americans, man. We're gonna make it happen, and like. Right. We're just not gonna be like, all right, well, the dude said no, I guess it's no. Like, and like you said, man, I had to do some shit here that, you know what I mean, I'm not gonna, you don't incriminate yourself, man, but I had to do some shit, you know what I mean, to keep stuff open and make stuff happen. I ain't fuck with Yakuza yet, or not. I know a lot of Yakuza guys. That's real, by the way. Yakuza is real.
I was just gonna ask you that, bro. Like, tell me this, bro. Tell me this, bro.
You just don't want to owe them nothing.
Yeah, facts, brother. Tell me this, because like this is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
So now most of that I know a lot more about watching, vlogs from people in Japan. So I know a lot more. But like, tell people, is the car scene, is that kind of like Tokyo Drift, bro? Like, like where is it?
No, I mean, well, the car at the certain meets there, like the one it's called Daikoku Futo. Every Friday, Saturday night. It's just where everybody goes is under a bridge, and it's like the cops kick you out. So the thing, what happens with that, man, is like and I was a victim of it too, because I was watching all these DVDs and all this stuff, and when I got here, I'm like, dude, but Japan in a nutshell, for people who don't know about Japan is a agricultural country. It's like a big ass farm with cities sprinkled in. So Tokyo's a city sprinkled in. Osaka's a city sprinkled in. The biggest city close to where I'm at. I'm in Misawa, by the way. I'm in Misawa, Japan, which is 8 hours north of Tokyo by car. Okay. And I make that drive. Like, I mean, I go down there like once, twice a month to take stuff down to Yokohama. So for me, it's easy. I put on some podcasts or some Breakfast Club or whatever, and I listen to that shit on the way down there. So yeah, man, I'll be on all this shit, man. But yeah, man. So So Japan is a big farm, dude. Like, I mean, you look outside, I got a farm field over here. It's a big farm with cities sprinkled in. So you can do shit like, I'm not advocating this, but you could do shit like drive a car around with no plates and lights on it, just to, you know what I mean, in certain places, you know what I mean, and get away with it and do what you gotta do. So like the shit that we do in the city, I've done some shit, man, to make shit happen that you don't really supposed to do. But it's like if you get caught doing it, right, you got that because you're a gaijin, you can only do it once with one cop. So if your cop pulls you over and you don't have like insurance or whatever, you know what I mean, whatever, man, whatever, you got to make it happen. Like, I didn't, and you speak in full English, don't speak Japanese. You be like, hey man, I don't got insurance, and they be like, just go and get insurance next time, and they'll let you go, man. So, you know what I mean, the risk. So the risk we take in the States, the shit you don't hear, man, it's like, man, it makes it more easier, man. And like speaking on the Yakuza shit, like they're real and they exist, but they're kind of like the mafia now. Like the mafia is still around, but they kind of like they're smarter about this shit and they don't make big news like they did before. But they still doing their thing. They still racketeering. They still skimming from people. But you know what I mean? You just get you can't. I've been approached by them. I got a katana downstairs because you can't have a gun and shit. So I got an actual real katana. That's sharp. That's a fake one right there. That's a.
You can't have a gun in Japan.
No. Only people that can carry. Only guns you can have is hunting. Like the pellet type guns, or cops have a little. I forgot what it's called, a little 6-shooter, and they never. I mean, you got to be like DEFCON 5 to deploy that bitch and shoot it. So no, you can't. A gun. I mean, shit. Weed will get you like 5-10 years in prison. Yeah. So,
hey man, on the tip by this afternoon with what the fuck I was doing.
So when you come over, man, make sure check your shit, man. Cause I'm talking about traces of anything. Like they'll have you caught up, man. They'll have you caught up big time. So yeah,
I was thinking smoking some weed there, bro. God damn.
No, I mean people do it, man, but it's like it's yeah, man. Weed is like on the same group and it's like fucking crack cocaine, man. It's like it's in Japan.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing people get busted on is bringing shit through the airport and stuff like that, man. So like they're very tight. Like Japan, man. If you look at the history of Japan, man, they weren't fucking with. They kept everybody out. They didn't want to talk to nobody. Then the Christians came in from Europe selling the spices and shit, and then they got in. So the white guys was here first. So like what we mentioned about black guys, we're people. The Japanese will tolerate us, right? And they like our style, but it's funny, man. They still have that. They still regard white Anglo-Saxons as more higher level. You know what I'm saying? Right. They still do that. So, you know what I mean? Me being a black owner of a shop and everything, when they see you, I'm the black guy here or whatever, they kind of, until I show them, like, and not show them, but I don't do that shit no more. I let them see. So they'll see the magazines. They're like, oh, you're in the magazines. And then that changes it for them. Or I just pop the hood of some of the cars and they're like, oh, this dude's doing real shit.
Right,
but by default, they think I'm doing, like, one guy, he's saying, can you get me a fake title? I'm like, why the fuck you think I do fake titles? He's like, gaijin. And he said it's because he didn't know better.
Right.
And he said, actually, kokujin, which kokujin is black gaijin. And I'm like, nah, man. And that kind of pissed me off. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't do that. But
was so racist that it was like, damn.
But the thing is, they don't even understand that shit. They don't understand that shit, man. So like, my wife, I told her, they call mixed kids half breeds, which sound like a fucking Doug, but they call them half breeds. So it's just a thing, they call them half breeds. So when they go to daycare, I notice the teachers will give up on my kids sooner when they don't want to do shit, and they'll just let them fucking do their own thing, and the other kids they'll keep working with. I'm like, nah, dude. So now our kids at a function are fucking like kind of not doing shit properly or standing off in the corner. I'm like, dude, that looks fucking bad on me.
Right.
And us, man. So I'm like, look, man, tell her to fucking act right. Teach them the same shit because that's what we fucking paying for.
And the same, and then when you go down there and then say something about it, now they looking at you like, oh, look at the black guy acting up again, bro.
Man,
we just want the same shit.
I'm going through that shit right now, man. Like to be keep it honest, man, keep it real. You know, we're in another daycare, and the reason we left the last daycare is because one of the teachers was suspected of touching multiple kids, like not well, this is a woman, she won't like sexually, but like hitting them and shit, like whatever, grabbing them, shaking them, whatever, right? So my oldest was he wasn't talking at that time, and I just noticed when I take him to daycare, this one chick, and her face was always fucking angry, right? Every time I would take him in the morning, when she came to greet us, he would always cry, always. I'm like, dude, something's wrong with that chick, and I seen it for the first time. I seen her, and then her mom had she took her kid out, and then after she took her kid out, she did kind of a tell-all, right? And I'm like, I fucking knew it. I'm like, dude, take him out. So we had a new daycare, right? We've been there about a year or two. This fucking chick, now she's working at the daycare. I'm like, bro.
Nah, fuck that bitch.
I'm like, my wife gets mad. I'm like, dude. And then they started checking when we're going to come to pick them up because they're hiding her from us. Because I seen her and she seen me and went the other way. And I'm like, nah, dude. I'm like, find out a daycare. She's in this daycare got more cameras, right? So she can't do nothing, right? So I'm like, the kids are safe, but I'm like, bro, she don't need to be around kids. I don't give a fuck about her career, but like we got to go somewhere else, and that's not cool, man. So the whole staff knows about it, and they're trying to when we go in the morning to take the kids there, they tell her like don't come up front, because they don't want us to interact with each other. So I'm like, that's not cool, man. That's not. And I ain't
gonna lie to you, bro. Shit, I'll go hard for my kids. Bro. Motherfuckers shaking. I don't give a fuck, bro.
Bro, just talking about that shit right now got my blood boiling and shit. And
yeah, man. And, let's switch it.
Yeah. That's not
Because kids is you. Yeah. I know how you is, bro. You like how I am.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna play about our kids, bro.
Yeah. I told.
Let me ask you a question, bro. Let me
switch. Cool. Yeah.
let me we gonna switch now. Right. Let me just ask you a question, bro. Now I always now I know that there's plenty of vending machines everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I know that.
I got one. I got my own.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I got my own, man. So I got. Yeah.
Please tell me about this. Right after I ask you this, is there a woman's panty vending machine in Japan, bro?
1000%, man. Bro,
I've seen it all.
It's real, man. Like, bro, I tell you, this is the crazy thing, man, about Japan. Because I thought when I came to Japan, like, you know, women are submissive. Man, that shit's that shit ain't true, man. The women are women. I've been fortunate enough to have sex with women in America, Iraq, Germany. Like I've been on like 4 different continents and shit. So that's pretty cool and everything, man. But the thing about, man, that shit's all the same. Women are women. Even the Japanese is like the same thing. So in Japan, and you mentioned it, man, in Japan, all the women care about is where the money coming from, and that's like number one. That's number one. Number two, I mean, if you're good in the bid, that's cool. And I had to tell my wife, because I'm like, dude, you don't realize how lucky you are, man. Because I'm a type of dude. I'm like, dude, black dudes do it different, man. Like we do it different. We do it different in the bid than other cultures, man. And you kind of could group the Puerto Rican dudes in there, because I got Puerto Rican cats and Spanish. Like we make sure the chicks getting off, because she's going to talk to the other chicks and everything. Japanese cats, man, those motherfuckers, they be in there like rabbits. They don't care about what happened to the chick, and then like she be there like, what's next, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? And like, so like I go down there and I'm like, bro, your friend, man. The last time she probably came was like fucking 2 years ago. I'm like, you know what I mean? You gotta appreciate that shit. That every time we doing it, you know what I mean? You're good. So she got. I'm like, you getting too comfortable with that. I got a business, and the thing is, my wife doesn't understand the magnitude of what I'm doing. Because she's too close to it, and she think I'm this is this. I'm like, bro, I got international customers, whatever, blah blah blah. But anyway, what I was saying, man, was the Japanese. They're not clear. They're not straight. They're straight, but they're not. Those motherfuckers are kinky, man. That's the best way to say it. the dudes are all into some like the dudes are all into like the thing about the dudes, man, is they don't fuck with chicks because it's real, man. It kind of is fucked up because I'm here and I'm military. After the atomic bomb, the dudes just like went from samurais to K-pop, J-pop dudes and slick back hair because we essentially America took the masculinity out. We bombed their shit and like we emasculated the men. So I mean, there's still manly men in Japan, but you run into them you look at them and they don't make eye contact. They don't shake hands. That's not a thing. And you know what I mean, they just kind of carry things different, which translated into women. Like you come over here, man, like I say, just like they don't know nothing about you, man. Like, bro, within hours. If you really wanted to get it in, within hours. You don't even like. It's just, especially if you got like you got a camera or whatever. It's like they gravitate towards that because Japanese dudes they're such squares that they want to get with another dude that's gonna, you know what I mean, rough them up or whatever, do whatever. Japanese dudes, they take 3 years to tell a chick they like her, and I'm like, nah. You know what I mean? You would get right to the point. My wife, hey man, my wife was, hey man, the first night we dated, man, we got it in. It was like, it wasn't that, it was just, it just happened that way, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's solid. You knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
She didn't. She wanted the same thing.
Yeah.
She like, bro, look at this strong ass American nigga. Bro, hell yeah, I'm gonna do that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I don't get, man, these guys, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was looking at that shit and I'd be like, because I was watching the documentary, random YouTube shit, and it was talking about Japan, and they was talking about like it was like this weird thing that where the men or whatever, just I see mostly men will lock themselves in a room and they come out just to only use the bathroom and eat and go back to the room. And I'm like, damn, and they said that was a common thing. I'm just like, I know, if I see a nice Japanese woman with some big ass titties, bro, I'm on that shit, bro.
And that's one thing, right? Right. I don't know what it is, man, because they got the whole. One thing is I kind of hate when my mom did that shit with Kim. She's like, oh, the Asians. I'm like, no, they Japanese. She kept calling them fucking Asians, right? She said fucking. I was like, don't say that shit. She's like the Orientals. I'm like, the fuck. Like I'm like, hey man, like, you've been to too many fucking corner store Chinese joints where we grew up on eating that shrimp fried rice and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, like the Japanese chicks, man, like bro, they got, I don't know what mixture, what part of it, but they kind of like the Filipino chicks got nice bodies, right? Yeah. And Japanese chicks, man, like they're actually not. They got like my wife. She got like nice set of tits, nice ass, right? And she thinks she feels overweight. I'm like, nah, dude, that's perfect.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, like when she stand up, they make a little curve or whatever.
Yeah.
And like she thinks that. I'm like, nah, that's cool. Like there's a. I'm like, I don't like stick figures. I'm like, I'm not into the. You know what I mean? I've been with some Japanese chicks where you grab their hips and then you can feel their fucking pelvis bone and shit. I'm like, nah, that's not cool, dude. You know what I'm saying? So my face over there. You sleep? Is he sleep over there or is
son? Man.
Yeah.
He over there. He's sleep.
Yeah. But no, man, like the Japanese chicks, man, like that they got some bodies on them naturally, man. Like they got, because they walk a lot too. They got nice legs. They all got nice legs, nice thighs, and nice calves because they walk everywhere and they ride bikes. So yeah, man. So hey man, like
me and my lady will probably come over. Well, the first time we come over there, we probably, I'm gonna come by myself. Okay. But when me and my lady go over there, bro, we gonna get us a nice little Japanese woman.
Y'all on that tip right there? Keeping it real, man. You sound you sound just like I was mentioning T-Pain. He's in the same kind of shit with his wife or whatever. He's like, hey man. She sees some but he don't fuck with the dudes and shit. It's the chicks or whatever. Yeah. So, but no, man. Hey, man. Like I say, the shit's wide open. Like I got like I always extend the offer to people to come over here, man. And like I say, once you get here, I got whatever sets you up and everything and do all that stuff, man. So that's all too easy. But man, it's cool, man. It's like, again, it's like everything, man. When you get boots on ground somewhere. like everything that you've seen and heard or whatever, once you actually there, the one thing I'll tell you, man, is the grind. I don't even realize I'm in Japan sometimes. I wake up and it's a grind. It's like I got to take care of these tasks to do that, and then like shit happens where my wife hit me up and I ain't know about some bill I got to pay. So now I got to kind of move shit around a little bit. I'm pretty stern on my system, but I do know when to flex. So I do know when I can move this. I can. My business is reservation only, so I can move customers around like how I need to move them. And I'm like, hey man, you come in first. Let me get this, knock this out, get this check, pay this bill, and then I'll get the other guy back in. And they don't know that. I mean, unless they watch the podcast, thanks for watching and subscribe. But they don't know that I do that. And that's the cool thing about my situation is I quantify my own time. And like I can be like, today I did like a half day because it's a Japanese holiday, and I went home and played with them. They rode their bikes. And that's one thing too, man. And I know it's the same for you too. I'm working hard, man. So like, so they're getting older. I'm not trying to be the dude that's like providing for the family and fucking not home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that, like you mentioned the hours, dude. Like, yeah, we can make the money, but like, there's tons of people out there, rich families, and their kids are on drugs and shit because the dad ain't home and shit like that. I'm like, nah, man. I wanna. My son was just rode his pedal bike the other day with no training wheels on it, and that shit. I'm like, man, I got all these cars and shit. I got all this stuff outside, and I'm happy over this. My kid riding a bike with no training wheels,
right?
Like, grinning ear to ear and shit, man. It's like,
right, man.
Yeah,
you
dude.
Can't get them moments back.
You can't, man. And luckily, my 3 tours in Iraq, I was single. I wasn't married, and I didn't understand that when my other guys were on the Skype arguing with their wife or telling their wife they love them, or why the fuck is you spending all this money on your new boyfriend? All that shit, man. All that shit that shit's real. Jody is real. So yeah, man. That I'm like, man, I couldn't imagine coming home after 9 months, 10 months in Iraq, and my fucking chicks in there with another. Nah, man. That's
some foul. Like that's some foul shit, bro.
That's murder, death, kill right there. Some Demolition Man shit right there, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
And it's like you don't even want to be mad at the guy, but at the same time,
unless the motherfucker knew, man. Unless he knew and be like, cause, some dudes be like, man, fuck him and fuck that. Because I've been in a situation. I keep it real, man. Like I was in Iraq, and the chick in particular, like I was banging her and shit, and and she never wore her wedding ring because our career field, she used that to her advantage. You couldn't have rings on when you're working around trucks and everything. And so I was getting it in with her, man. Come to find out, she was married to a dude who was ranked above her, 2 ranks above her, and above me, 4 ranks above me. And I'm like, nah, man, we gotta chill, because if we get caught, like I'm losing rank, you losing rank, and I'm like, nah. So, and that thing is, I didn't ask about. I'm not gonna ask about what's going on. She gave me she started flirting. I started talking back, and then next thing you know, we doing our thing. So that's not my job to do your background check. So I'm like, man,
anyways, if they want it anyway, they gonna lie.
Exactly, man. So I ain't do that, man. But hey, man, so like for your stuff, man, what you got? Like, you got any Cause I'm definitely got. It's almost 2 here now, and I say that shit every time, man. I'm like, I'm gonna be here for an hour. That shit never fucking happens.
Oh yeah,
yeah, no, that's good shit, man. Cause this is we're at 2 hours and 22 minutes, man. Probably only feel like it, but yeah, man. So what you got? You got any projects coming up? Anything? Any projects coming up? Any thing you want to get off your mind as far as topics or whatever, man? Like, I just want to give the floor to you, man, for this last few minutes, man.
I mean, I feel very good because I feel like I've met someone like a lifelong friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel that way. Honest to God, I just feel great to be a part of something that is way bigger than me. Like I said, whether you knew it or not, whether you know or not, whether other people know or not, you are like making big waves. You set an example for in a whole nother country. You know what I'm saying? You're a hero because you joined the service. So, it's an honor for me to be here. Me personally, I'm always working. I'm always doing music. I'm getting ready to drop this album. And I'll just announce that when I get ready to drop it.
For sure.
The reason why is because I haven't decided on a name yet.
Gotcha.
Not that I'm trying to even be secret. Like, I'm thinking more about Ambitions of a Gemini. You know what I'm saying? Like Ambitions of a Writer by Tupac.
Right.
You know, but I'm just kind of trying to settle in on the name. So the music's already done. It's already recorded. Just know that I'm posting every day. I'm not gonna stop. Vlogs is coming. Pranks is coming. You know what I'm saying? Japan vlogs is coming with my boy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just working. I never stop working, and you shouldn't either. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
No doubt. And like on that, man, to piggyback on that, man, which is a military term people hate when you're in the commander's call. But the yeah, man, like again, man, meeting people like yourself, man, likewise, man. It's I find motivation, man, because I know, bro, like I know when I and that's why I don't. People like, man, how you been in the shop 17 hours a day? You know what I mean? Like, because what I mean is like I come in the shop 4 or 5 in the morning. I go back home to take the kids to daycare. I go to work. I take them home. I put them in the shower, and I come back to work after they go to sleep. I come back. So like I don't have. So my hours in my shop is just the hours I want to talk to people. Like it's 9:45 to 4, and that's when I have meetings. Other than that, I'm like, bro, I'm doing work at like 3 in the morning. So when cats come at me, and I'm like, I had a few cats bold enough to say, hey man, like I'm like, number one, dude, you don't qualify my time. When you sleep, I'm awake. When you wake up, I'm awake. And when you go back to sleep, I'm awake. And I hit a dude, and that shit's real. I'm like, man, that shit's real, man. Like and people think when you start your business, it's freedom. It is freedom in a way because I make my own shots and calls, but at the same time, I gotta go 7 hours on the road to pick up this. I gotta go over here to pick up that. So you can be free, but at the same time, your money is zero. So it's and one thing and that's why, man, like with the scheduling shit, I was like, that's why I'm like this with everybody on my podcast because I'm not paying anybody yet. I'm not sure if Rogan pays people, but I think he does. But when I'll always say I'm on a guest time because you're giving me your time to help my podcast, which again I like to play it. And that's, you'll see, man, when you see the thumbnail and the links, I make it worthwhile because I'm not just to be like Quizzy James and then like that's it. Like I'm putting all your links down there. Your video's gonna be in the fucking intro. It's gonna be, you know what I mean? I make it worthwhile for people like that, man. So to give that love because I definitely I respect everybody's time and I know like one thing I hate when people do it to me and I know it, like time ain't fucking free, man. Like you got shit to do. So motherfuckers talking to you like you're just sitting around twiddling your thumbs. There is people like that do that, but we ain't doing that. We ain't on that level, man. We doing different. We're making it happen. And I feel like, you know what I mean, with just getting to know you, you're utilizing the max out of your day, man. So one thing I'm kind of having to learn to do, man, which is hard, is actually take a breather for yourself because, like, people think like motherfuckers don't like, you know, you probably look at The Rock's, Dwayne Johnson's Instagram, and that motherfucker like he's always going, but like you don't know when that dude is chilling, like I was before you hit me up, I was watching Miami Vice. I wasn't doing. I just was taking I wasn't answering no emails. I was just hanging out to see if you because I know you said 8 or 9 hours, and I came here. I've been there. Actually, I was here 3 hours before. I was just chilling out, doing some other car stuff, and just not doing nothing. And like you gotta. Like it's a mixed message, man. Because we always want to say stay busy, but stay busy out there. But dude, you got to take a mental break. Not 10 hours, not 8 hours, you know, not that type of shit. But you got to take a mental break, man, and just let your mind fucking recuperate, and then get back at it. So when I went to Atlanta, the Atlanta shit, like I said, I lost money from the quarantine, but I got to see my boys' operation. And I was still doing emails a little bit, but I didn't work. I wasn't at my shop, so I was at his shop. I got to see the way he operated in Atlanta, and I'm like, man, I felt like I had shit in control, but at the same time, I was kind of like I was taking on too much. You know what I'm saying? And I was getting away from my original plan. Wasn't too far away from it, but I'm like, man, I came back like, hey, man, like, look, man, this shit not gonna get done into this date. And I was the customers wasn't rushing me. I was rushing myself. And I noticed honestly, I took a step back and I noticed my quality going down just a little bit, which my quality going down a little bit is still higher than other motherfuckers, right?
Right.
But I was like, nah, man, I got to keep that shit 100% because as soon as you slip one time and it happened, it happened right before I left, man, and it was kind of partially my fault, and also it was a defect with the part I installed. But that one customer, man, like I'm explaining myself, which is what I don't do. I keep myself in a position where I'm not explaining myself to fucking anybody. Like, and when you put yourself there, and you kind of have to, like, oh man, I fucked this up or I did that. I can honestly say, man, I've been open 5 years and I've only done that twice, and it's because I legitimately fucked some shit up. I ordered the wrong part, and then I'm not explaining myself. I'm just saying, hey man, I said I was gonna be done on this date. I'm actually gonna be done next week when the part gets in, and the customer was cool because I kept it up front and I didn't fucking lie to him. I didn't say, you know, and that. So even when I explain myself a little bit to a customer, it's not like they're not like, hey man, well you fucking know better than that and everything. And I had one customer try to do that shit before, and I had to put him in his place. But it happens, man. And like I say, man, I'm just saying all to say, man. Again, I'm kind of rambling right now because I guess my brain's getting cloudy. But I just know, man. I just know like what you're built for. Again, don't like I'm not a professor to know you fully. We'll get to know each other more as we interact. But you ain't built to be on nobody's thumb, man. And I can tell people like that when they like that. And I'm like, and when I see that, I just want to push that shit out there harder to help them break further, to give them reassurance, because I know, man, there's a lot of people you talk to on a daily grind that they be like, oh man, I don't know about that, and they project their fucking shortcomings on you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I'm
tell
like,
you that you can't do it. Yeah, shit like that,
bro. When I mention my shop, to one guy in my when I first mentioned it in public. He was like supportive and not, and like now, you know. And my one guy was supportive all the way, and he's from Cleveland, and he gave me some cash and everything to buy some stuff and everything and stuff like that. And the handful of guys that was like, nah, man, I don't know what's going to happen. One cat lost 2 businesses in that time frame, and you know, what I mean, other guys got divorces and all this other shit, man. And it's like I'm not like happy about their misfortunes, but they were telling me I can't do my shit, and I'm like, bro, you don't really. They thought they knew me, right? They knew just a fraction of me. They didn't know like the grind. They didn't know being from Baltimore, what that made me want to do, different things, man. I'm like, man, you don't know everybody, man. So people just think they know I guess they put what they can do on you and shit.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I'm like, nah, son, it don't work that way, man.
No, you absolutely right, bro. You just like my boy C Boogie, bro. That's my boy C Boogie. He from Baltimore, and when you just said that, you can't. Like, I don't matter where you at, it's the dude. It's the It's that. It was I was like, that's that Baltimore. Yeah. Man, I had a great time today, man. I really want to come back sometime.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, once you drop this shit's unlimited, man. I got literally my garage downstairs. Like I can pretty much, man. I mean, I don't care how busy I am. I can always get in like a 45-minute spot at least. So like when you get the album shit about to launch out, it's definitely get back and everything. And like I like to get the album. I'm gonna buy it and then I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna rock it because I rock more music from people that I know. Like I got my dude DJ Wiz, my boy Icky the Don, who was on a podcast from Chi-Town and everything. He got like this dude like. Another black guy, man, I met, and like this dude got the album things and the barcodes and everything, and he been doing it he's prior Navy, and he used that Navy shit to get around. So he was in Hawaii. People that know how he get in Hawaii, how he was there. He was Navy, but he didn't really put it out there like that. He was getting around, and like, you know, album covers and everything, man. And like, you know, just talking to him, he was a little bit older, and he's telling me his story from Chicago. Dude, got shot in the head, grazed in the head, and Chicago. I'm like, just to be, and then like I say, you being from St. Louis, my guy Icky, I'm looking at his poster right now, being from Chi-Town, we from different parts of the world. You more closer to Chi-Town than I am, but it's like the shit is like, man, it feel like we grew up in the same block, even though we're in a different, and that's just weird. And that right there tell you New Jersey is like Compton. Compton is like, it's just the inner city grind that's just the same everywhere, man.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, man. So
you ain't lying, bro.
It's just the same. It's systematic, man. But at the same time, man, like I say, man, I foresee, man, just from the shit on your channel right now, like I say, man, that in no time, bro. Like, you're gonna be 100,000, 200,000 subscribers in no fucking time, bro. And I'm just glad, again, like I said, I'm glad to be on board when it shit's in the infancy, because I think those core people, I think they're more meaningful than the later followers, because the later followers getting on because of the hype, and that's well deserved. That's not a bad thing. But,
no, you're right.
But those early dudes, man, are always gonna be there, and they're gonna be the ones sharing your shit around, and like, you know what I mean, I got 5,000 people on my fucking Facebook, man, but like I post a video and I get like 2 or 3, you know, likes or whatever, or maybe, and it's I'm like, hey man, you know, they don't like what I do or whatever, man. Like,
it's a bunch of haters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But when you look at your content, look at my content, it's like, bro, our shit is better put together and produced than people who got more. But it's just like whatever they got, whatever niche they hit, it just blew up for them. No hate on them, but it's like, man, that shit really, I mean, to be honest, I call it like it is, man. That shit's corny, dude. And like, but what it's something they posted somewhere, or somebody they collab with put their shit in a different light, or Joe Rogan, or like, because you see it a bunch of times with Joe Rogan, right? This happens a lot too. So I'm gonna wrap it up, keep fucking talking. But you see when Joe Rogan, like, you notice when people like again, I watched the dude Andrew Schultz, he's on Flagrant 2. He was already popping before Joe Rogan. Then when you get that one Joe Rogan appearance, it's just like your shit, you're off to the races, man. And it's
like, you fucking Andrew though?
Oh yeah. And that whole well, it started from Rogan, and then I started listening to all the comedian friends, and then I started getting on their shit. And then Schultz came over and did a thing, and then and then I didn't know him, and of course everybody knows Charlemagne, Breakfast Club, and I didn't know they was linked up, and then so that's I just put on YouTube. I'm in there working on cars, dying laughing at Charlemagne and them, fucking around on their shit, Brilliant Idiots and all that stuff, man. So yeah, man, that whole network of people and that whole man, I'm on all those guys, man.
Andrew, that dude is hilarious. That white dude is hilarious, but he ain't even white. That man is black. But
that hustle, man, like that, and this, like, if you look at my history, man, most of my shit is like the podcast shit and then valuetainment. It's like that, or like I'll put on some shit like fucking pretty sure like what's his name, man, the Samurai Cat, fucking had it was called The Rings or something like that. Goddamn, my mind's going blank right now. It's getting late, but I'll just put on some shit by Sun Tzu, because the audiobooks, like, some shit that's like, it's never I'm never putting on some shit like what's the latest drama. That's not my shit, man. It's gotta be educational, or like some shit that you learn, because even Charlemagne and them, they fuck around a lot, but they do be dropping some shit.
Man, they drop gems a lot.
Some gems, man. Like, you know, this is how to move. Charlemagne started the Black Effect stuff and business stuff, man. And like, I think just seeing how Schultz moved, man. Schultz pretty much made fucking Netflix give him a special and then shitted on him. It's like he talked shit about Netflix, telling him to fuck off, and then he paid him for it. So it's like, and he did all that off YouTube, man. All that came off of YouTube hype.
Man, can't nobody say like this that these YouTubers, like,
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, right. All these fights, bro, these MMA fights. Yeah. And then, like, I'll be like, and you know, a lot of them, they be getting mad. You know, like a lot of people that in the MMA scene, I was seeing a lot of them was upset. Yeah. They're like, man, look at all these fucking YouTubers. But I'm like, YouTube is just a place for us. It's a place for anybody to say whatever you want to do. Right. You can push it out to the world, get monetized for it. You can do anything. So I'm like, bro, YouTube is a platform that changed my life, bro. Yeah. And I would never shit on it. That, and then, like, you know, the thing about it, man, if it's not for YouTube, we never meet. You know what I'm saying? It's like all these people out there, man, and it's like, bro, I met so many people off YouTube. I got a bunch of guys that actually seen the podcast, hit me up, and they want to do stuff. And like, I got, and like, I've been major props to even like accepting to be on a podcast, because I put that thing out there to a bunch of people who, motherfuckers in my circle. I'm like, man, we you talk about a lot of the same shit. Yeah. And I hit them up, and they're like, man, I don't, not really into it. I'm like, all right, cool. And then the other dudes be like, they'll brush you off, and it's like, essentially they'll look at your subscribers and they're like, oh, well, how's your 7,000 subscribers going to help me in my thing or whatever? So
again, man, major props of just even accepting it, because I'm like, I put it out there to a lot of guys, and they be like, nah, I'm cool or whatever. Or even I got back actually with T-Pain, what happened with his, and I respect it. He was, because he's rebooting his career again. He got into
he's doing a good job.
Yeah,
he's doing a good job.
He's OG, man. Like he shit's there, and he pretty much told because I talked to my guy who knows his mechanic, and he was like, yeah, he pretty much said straight up that he's only doing paid stuff, and I'm like, and I respect it. That's his time, but I'm like, I ain't got the spare cash to pay whatever you want to pay and everything. So I was like, you know what, man? He was like, man, I'm sorry, but I'm like, dude, T-Pain's in a drifting circle now. I'm coming to the States to drift. We're gonna run into each other eventually.
Let me know when you get to the States too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be there, and that it's kind of like unrelated, man. But I'm coming back to the States more to compete. So I'll be there a bunch, and actually there's one of the big rounds is in St. Louis.
Please let me know, please.
Yeah, man.
Please.
So yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna be back there. Like, and it's weird. I'm coming. To make it make sense, man. And like I said, I'll let you say what you gotta say again, man. But to make it make sense, I get more money by flying to Japan and promoting my brand than here in Japan, because Japanese will not fuck with you. Bro, I've been open 5 years. I've had 3 Japanese customers, and it wasn't it was weird for them, because one thing, like parts, I make them pay for parts up front, right? I don't pay for parts on the back end, so they're used to paying for everything on the back end. I'm like, nah, bro, right. I need the money. I'm not fronting $5K for this engine. You got to pay me $5K for that shit. And then I go buy it, then I put it in, and you pay me for labor. So the Japanese, man, they just don't like my style as far as like the way I'm straight up. I don't take meetings and just talk bullshit. They used to go into the shops and milling around, and like I'm like, nah, bro, what do you want to do? This is the plan. This is how much it's going to cost. This is the start date. This is the finish date. It's straight to the point. No time for BS. And they like to think about it and talk about possibilities. I'm like, nah, bro, you want 500 horsepower? This is what you need. This is the combination, man. So my style doesn't agree with them, and I'm like, I'm over trying to capture them. So what I mean, I stick with what I stick with, and like coming to America, driving there will get me 5,000, 6,000 followers in one day, because I did it at one event here. I got 3,000 subscribers in one day from doing one event, and I went after the event. I went AWOL to start my business. So I kind of got all the hype train, and then I disappeared. And now I'm returning to drifting 5 years later, because I had to sacrifice not drifting. I had to sacrifice not doing certain shit to grow my company. And, so for me, in the last 6 years, I can account for every fucking penny spent. Every penny.
That's what's up.
Every penny. Before that, before that point, it was all going in the cars anyway. But I would buy like some dumb shit, that wasn't related to like growth. But now every penny I spend, man, is going towards my family.
That's what's up.
Or bills is part of the family, and then to keep the business running, or it's guided, man. I haven't wasted a dime on anything. No trinkets, none. Everything has a purpose, man. And that's what I try to get across to anybody trying to do business, man. Make all this shit have purpose. Like, I don't have, and it's nothing against it, man, but I don't have like I got like my shit's clean, but I got like regular ass Dickies, khakis.
Right.
And I'm always wearing like, if you got like, I'm definitely gonna get one of your shirts and rock it on the podcast. I only rock my shit and motherfuckers I fuck with. I don't, nothing against Kanye, but I ain't wearing this shit because Kanye not in my circle, man. To be honest, man. So my shit is my company shit. Like this right here is my dude. I wear it every day. This is my jumper. This is my guy Bridgemoto, Alan, and my black cat down in Atlanta. He makes this for me, so I wear this almost every podcast, man. I support his business. I support my guys. When my guys drop a mixtape, I'm getting that mixtape. You know what I'm saying? And like we people talk a lot of shit about support, but they be the same motherfuckers not supporting.
Yeah, bro. They don't really mean that shit. Dude. They just talking.
Yeah, dude.
They just talk. Hey, bro, when it comes to support, bro, like me and you are gonna make so much money, and this is all YouTube shit. You don't even know. I've been looking for. I literally have been looking for someone cool, honest, that I can straight like talk to and then like throw some business ideas their way. Because like, bro, I have like my boy. I was telling you about my boy in Japan, and this is off the record. I'm gonna throw so much shit. Anything that I know, I'm gonna throw this to you because like, bro, I want us to work on some other shit. Cause like I have some visions for you about like some vlogs that I think that'd be dope if you did to bring you more people and shit like that.
For sure.
And you know, I'll help you with whatever you need. You know, if you need some editing.
No, that's one thing right there, man. You know, for me, is because everybody, even though, like I said, I'm very confident that you know, like that you definitely, because it's the stuff you said, man. That stuff you can only state when you know yourself, man. And we two people, different, like different parts of the states, but we know ourselves. I don't know what happened to us, but we know who we are. We know what we want, and it's like it's weird. You know, it's weird as fuck when you can talk to 20 people. And they can't, and I know you can do this. Some people like they say, all right, man, in 5 minutes, tell me about yourself, and like they don't know, like it's like you should have like 5 different versions of that 5-minute story depending on who the audience is. So if you're talking to naturally, if I roll up on T-Pain, I'm not gonna do the whole this and this. Shit'll be natural, but it's like, hey man, tell me about yourself. I mean, of course, I'm gonna lean more towards the music side of shit and the sport and the car shit because that's what we do. But like, I'm well versed in different things, so I can move that shit around depending on who I'm talking to. So if I'm talking to a dude who was an electronic engineer, he don't give a fuck about music. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say, hey man, well I program car computers, I build computers, I do this and this, and that's if he's trying to do business with me. So like, you know, hey man, what can I get from this guy? And that's one thing, man. I keep it real, man. When I told that guy, like I told that one guy with 200 subscribers, I don't want his people because I knew what he was thinking. I knew what he was thinking before he came on my podcast. So I wanted to call that shit out within the first 5 minutes of the podcast, which shocked him. My objective with getting with you and everybody else is I see all these other YouTubers who are like got fire shit, but for whatever reason, the fucking YouTube analytics buries out videos. And I'm like, dude, the editing, the thumbnails, the energy. Like, cause there's motherfuckers who got 1,000 million subscribers, but they like, hey man, so today we're at the National Forest Park, all bland and shit, boring as no fucking energy, man. But they got 2 million subscribers because they cut shit with a hot knife or whatever, shit like, or you said crazy shit. The dude, when I watch it, the dude crushing bowling balls and shit, and
with the little machine,
and I'm like, dude, I'm watching that shit like. Why the fuck, like that shit got, I'm like, dude, that shit got me. Like that shit is like, I never thought about what happened to a bowling ball and get crushed, you know, under that many, and you're watching it and it's like that shit out there for somebody. But I mean, like I said, the reason I got with you, man, was like, because what I want to do on YouTube is get with people who I honestly, for me, I don't know, I'm just like, who the fuck am I this to wreck? But it's like, I just see dope shit, man. And I seen the energy. I'm like, man, I gotta talk to this dude, man, because this energy is dope. The fucking editing is dope. When you did the thing when you pulled back and it was like you went to the change the scene, like you're doing. That's him in the background. How he just woke up, but you're doing shit that motherfuckers wait. Like I said before, they wait until they get 200,000, then they think about getting the After Effects and the stuff and all. And I spent like what $50 on getting a little not the sample packs, but like the fucking like the title thing. So that just changed my channel over just by spending that $50. I got the AE juice. It's called AE juice. So I get the little titles, and I got like thousands of titles. I use the same 3, but when a name pops up, like you'll see it. Yeah, I got that shit, and it's like dudes will go spend $50 on this lame ass shirt or whatever, not knocking it, or they could spend $60 on this pack of titles to bump their shit up. And like, you know what I mean, it's so much shit you could do, man. Like I just, again, long story short, man, I just want to send you props for what you're doing, man. And again, I'm happy to be on board and start this relationship, man. And why shit's new, and then like I'm just happy to see where the channel's gonna go, because I call it, man. Like your shit's gonna blow up, and my channel, honestly,
vice versa, bro.
Yeah, it's what happens to my channel is cool, because my channel does what I needed to do for me. Like I made money on my YouTube hand over fist just by promoting my business. And the guy hits me up like, hey man, you export cars? Like, yeah. So I had a guy buy a car, store it with me, buy 2 cars, export them. So from this one guy, I made in 1 month like $7K in 1 month from that one customer who seen my video. And that's what I'm saying. But my YouTube analytics, I made in the last 28 days, I made $2.40 on the YouTube side.
Straight up.
Right. So but that's what I'm saying. People don't get like it's more than that number, man, because it's what you're doing with those 2,000 subscribers. And I love your live. That's why I commented on your shit and as you can see, I sent
shouted me out.
And I get it super chat because I do that shit because super chats. I go into a big shit where it's like 4,000 people, 5,000 people, and I pay $10 and I just drop my shit and I get followers from that. And people don't. I'm like, bro, that shit's there for a reason. You pay the channel, and then like you hit me, you seen the super chat, so of course my shit was highlighted above everybody else's. You hit me up like right away and everything, and that was pretty cool, man. And that was like, and I like what I was seeing. The shit was dope, and I was listening to your joint while I was working. I was in my shop working. And I was over there typing and shit. And I'll go back over there and go to the car shop and finish doing stuff, man. So I seen it. I respect the grind, man, and yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Vice versa, bro. I really appreciate you sending the super chat. You were actually the second person that ever sent me.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like that shit, like when you talk about. When I was like, I always say this a famous thing, and I won't ramble, I promise.
It's okay.
I was like, I always say that to my subscribers. I'll be like, y'all are shutting niggas up in my city because y'all are shutting up all my haters that just said like, oh, bro, I don't know about the whole YouTube. It's too late, yada 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 yada. But I'm like, bro, 2,700 of y'all is saying to them, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I seen that part.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, and I keep saying it, and I know people are getting like annoyed now.
Yeah.
But they might not. It might be my own little thing, but I just keep saying it like, man, thank you, thank y'all, thank you for this, thank y'all. But they don't get it. I'm really happy. Like,
yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me on her, bro.
No doubt, man. We like I say, man, it's you do podcasts a lot, man, and like. It's all my guests out there if all the guests watch, man, I'm very appreciative. But sometimes, man, like with the guest stuff, like even some of my buddies, you talk to them, and it's like I think it's not that I know they're all cool people, but they're like I guess camera shy or they don't want to say the wrong stuff or whatever, so they just kind of get gun shy, man. Like I said, it's been again, man. You can tell when this shit's good. It's 2 hours and 51 minutes now. Me and my dude Lex, we've been here for like 3 hours talking about all types of shit. My dude Lex is in California. Shout out to Lex, man. But yeah, man, when you know it's a good shit when the time flies. And again, man, it's unlimited, man. So like, if you want to get on like your promotion shit or just chop it up, or I mean, I got my guy Lex, and we kind of do like a weekly thing, like and it's like I call him a co-host because he's on there a bunch. But like if you want to do some shit like some not weekly or whatever, man, like some shit that we could chop it up or do whatever. Yeah. Talk about stuff or whatever, man. Like it's content, and it's like it's no the shit's unlimited. It got the infinity sign on it. There's no limit to how many times I can shoot. I mean, sometimes where I might be in Tokyo or whatever, but for the most part, I'm here. It's all good, man. I got 5, man. I know what it is about, man. So it's all good. But hey, man, again, man, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go home and take a nap because that's exactly what that shit is. Because I'm still in my same. I've been in this clothes since 5 a.m.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's 5 a.m. It's 2:07 a.m. So pretty much another 3 hours, man. Like that's I've been up for 24 hours. And the thing is, man, bro, just again the motivation. I feel like I just woke up though, that's the hunger for life, man. It's the hunger for even where I'm at right now in this shop, all the stuff, man, and I should. Even where I'm at right now, man, like you when you still like want more shit, that's when that's when you get to do like Floyd Mayweather, who got to a lot of people seem like he got everything, but he still is whatever got Floyd to that point, that shit ain't leaving him, man.
Right.
That shit don't when they see like, oh well, Kanye got enough money, when he just stopped, like, bro, whatever got Kanye to that point, it's not gonna leave Kanye. That's gonna, whatever, Bezos, you told me that story about him. whatever got Bezos to that point, and Musk and all those guys to that point where they at. It's a trait, and most of the times it's been because people told them they couldn't do it.
Yeah, you're right. And I see that old Amazon when he was in that,
and the garage with the little fucking banner, like kind of like I got right here.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And that's a lot more polished than the Amazon. That should look like it was
like I say, do me a favor, man. When you get a chance, man, go back and look at the Pinku Style Podcast 1. I did that shit live, which I won't do it again because live was YouTube live is I'm sending my shit from Japan to like some other server, and it just too much lag. But like that video, man, like no shit. I was just like, I wasn't gonna do that video for like another 2-3 weeks because I didn't have lights, because I got the lights behind me right now. And I was like, man, fuck this, man, record. And that started it. It started it off because I put it off for like a year before that day. I had the mics and everything, but I just kept blowing it off and like, I want to get this. I want to get this background because I want to build something like this. And that was my last shop, and there was just no space. So here's upstairs. When I came here to see the building, I'm like, podcast studio. I got soundproofing. I can fucking crank the music all the way up, and nobody can hear the shit.
I cannot wait to come to your shop, man. Bro. I swear.
I'm gonna have a mic here because you definitely ain't gonna leave here with your mic. Like I told my dude, my dude Gami, like I gotta get a booth, man, because you can't come here. And none of my rap dudes can come here and not drop some lyrics and shit, man. So.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fast.
Too easy, man. But hey, man, enjoy the day, man. Take care of that boy back there. I see him over there. He's going crazy back there and everything, man. But again, man, Quizzy, thanks for the time, brother. This is just the first of many. And again, all the guys out there who's coming to me from Quizzy's network. Again, man, thank you for chiming in. And my apologies, man, because I mean, I felt like it was a good balance of you talking and me talking, man. But me personally, I try to work on letting my guests talk more, but I get into like the zone sometimes, man. And it was, I don't feel like it was one-sided, man. So I don't feel too bad about it. But yeah.
I don't either. I really enjoyed this chat, man. Bro. Like I don't even know if it's showing, but I just like I got up hype and shit. I was like, he said, "Let's go." All right, baby. I told my lady, I said, "Look, this is gonna be live. So unless you try to show some ass to promote this shit, and you know what I'm saying?"
Oh yeah, because I mean, to be honest, man, the great thing about this, man, because I like I said in the beginning about the whole if you said something or whatever, cut it out. I don't edit any of this shit, man. I just put your name in there. I'm gonna drop. So when you get a chance at the end, man, just send me your all your links and in whatever video you want me to feature in the front video or track, and I'll feature it in the intro. And and yeah, man, it's just it is what it is, man. So the guys are there again, man, from the Pinku Style Network. Again, man, thank you guys for tuning in. My guy Zach, I just had on. I had one of my my last guests was one of my followers who came to the event in Atlanta just to meet me, and I'm like, man, I got to get this dude on, man, because he's like, you know what I mean, like that, you know what I mean. I'm at a point where my following is small, so I can give that kind of personal. You know, and also with that dude, you know, that dude, man, that's like, oh man, I can get on the podcast. I'm like, dude, I'll tell anybody out there. I'm like, bro, send me your email. I'll talk to fucking anybody out there. Like anybody is good for it, and people don't take advantage of it. But I'll tell you what's gonna happen, man. For my shit, this shit's gonna pop, and then I'm gonna get all these guys in. I'm like, you know what, man? I told you straight up, man. If I'm not good for you then, I'm not good for you now. And I keep that, and I hate to be like that, man. But I keep the energy because life is limited. I got my kids I want to support. I got my stuff I want to do. And I'm not going to let a motherfucker who didn't want to fuck with me 2 years ago fuck with me now. And that might be petty. It might be petty, but it's just like, if you're going to leave me on red, you leave me on scene. And I'm not coming at you professional and respectful. It's like I can't get down with that because now I'm more viable to you now. Now you can do the podcast. Like, nah, you can go in and kick rocks, man.
That's facts. Hey, bro, you gotta do that because you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, like you said, you got a level of integrity that you got to keep. It ain't about the money,
right?
You know what I'm saying. It ain't about the notoriety. You gonna blow up because. Yeah. So when you know that you gonna blow up because, you can say, no, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
And that's why it's good to be in those dudes. You know, you see like how the fuck does that guy get in Kanye's circle or Fabulous circles, like or look at like the Locks. It's like the Locks, you know, the whole Locks and Dipset thing. And you mentioned before, what you said before is 100%, 110%. The reason why the Locks killed that shit is because Puffy trained them to fucking do that, man. And people talk shit about Puffy and whatever, but that motherfucker he knows what he's doing, man.
You know what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, like the way he said how the Locks was controlling the stage and Dipset. They kind of, and I fuck with both of them because I had a Dipset shit too, but Cam and them came there like on that versus shit, like they felt like they were just gonna win just because. And the Locks was rehearsing shit, had the playlist down, they had the DJ on the same page. So when a dude saying y'all ain't from New York, and then he dropped that shit, I'm like, bro, the chills went through my spine when it, like Fat Joe was saying, I'm like, dude, they had that shit on lock, and that was all because of tutelage of Puffy and preparing those dudes, man. And it's like, man, it's just one of those things I kind of work on, always being ready, man, always being ready. That way you ain't gotta get ready, and because it's been changed place. It's been times where I was requested to do an event or whatever, and I ain't got no car ready because I'm working on the customers, and it's like, man, fuck, but I wasn't prepared, man. And it's like, it is what it is, man. So again, man, I want to start the shit again, man. It's almost 3 hours, man. So, hey, man, that means it's good shit, man. That means it's good shit when you want to end it. But again, guys, there, make sure you're checking out Quizzy on Demand. Check out his channel. I'm gonna put all the stuff and links down there, all the stuff down there. Make sure definitely when the album drops, I'm gonna announce that again because I'm gonna buy it. You gonna do physical copies or just streaming? Or you gonna do physical?
Just it's all going to be free. It's all going to be streaming. You know what I'm saying? The best way that they can support me is just by listening. Got you.
So I'm gonna have the link for the streaming and everything. The platforms will be on there, so you guys can stream it. I'm gonna get it on the which con? So I'm gonna throw it on the the cool thing is with the Bluetooth. We stream all that stuff in the truck. So the cool thing, man, is like the technology, man, is making stuff better, man. We're putting everybody closer. And again, man, a dude from Baltimore living in Japan talking to a dude in St. Louis, Missouri, man, like. 10 years ago, this shit wasn't happening like that. Not easily. Nah. Now we got high-speed internet, got the crispy clear video, crispy clear audio, and it's like, what I mean? You guys don't understand out there. You mentioned Lil Wayne, and I definitely, that popped in my head. You new cats, the Wayne that you got, y'all only know the hot boy. Y'all think Wayne is a fucking old cat, old young cat. And that Wayne that was on Hot Boys and that they don't know that Wayne, dude. They don't know that Wayne. There's 4 different Waynes out there, and he kind of came back on that Drake track a little bit, and that was like the kind of the mixtape Wayne, and that's a whole different thing, man. But like people move around, people change. But like you don't know everybody's story, and then even with the podcast, it's only 3 hours, but there's no way to kind of put somebody's whole life into that. That's why we kind of, that's why it's gonna be multiple podcasts. We can hit on different things, and like I say, man, if you want to shoot or get some stuff off or whatever, man, just hit me up, and we could definitely coordinate and get it done, man. There's no limit to it, and I don't care how many times you come back on, man. It's good stuff, man. So we'll definitely try get it next time around, just before your release or just after your release. So I can listen to it and then, weigh in on stuff and like you see what I like and all that stuff, man. So keep it real, man. So it is.
You gonna be my buddy.
Yeah, man. All my shit is Pinku style. Like my SoundCloud is Pinku Music. I changed that so even though it's gonna be all the podcasts on there, if you click on my playlist, I separated all my tracks there and everything. So that's just all the stuff I got public stuff up there, man. So yeah, man, we will link up.
Talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
All types of stuff next time, because this is really the introduction.
Oh yeah,
we're talk all types of shit.
Yeah, and what happens on the next time, they put the little card up there, see part 1, and we go on there, man. So it's just for me, man. It's just it's cool. It feels like who the fuck's gonna listen to this shit because it's on SoundCloud, it's on YouTube. I didn't go to but it's like, man, it's people out there actually listening to this because this is a long form conversation. It's two black guys, again from 2 different parts of the nation. Congregating and on the same page because like people don't realize, man, like we ain't all doing ain't shit new under the sun. We just putting their own spin on it and the shit and people don't, when they realize that, it's like, bro, some shit like, let's say for example, when I was in Missouri, we went out in the town and shit, and just happened to be you was in the same spot, and then some shit happened and we only know each other and we fucking enemies and that's crazy how life works, man. And before I get like fully mad at somebody, I try to like if they got some respect, then it's cool. But you know what I mean, sometimes shit don't work that way, and it's like, man, that could have been your best dude, and now y'all motherfuckers fighting each other, want to fight each other,
dumb shit,
on some dumb shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, just give motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt out there, man, and not assume you know everybody, man. So to be honest, man, I knew before this podcast even started, it was gonna be a good one and everything. I'm just, I'm grinning ear to ear and shit the whole time and everything. Yeah, man. So it's,
they gonna be like, look at Quizzy lame ass. He's happy to talk to somebody and shit.
Hey,
I'm just happy to just connect with, like in the later in life, you just be happy when you finally connect with somebody that ain't on no bullshit, bro.
Yeah, man. Because there be so many people out there and shit, and it's like you be thinking in your own mind, like, man, don't nobody understand me and shit. And it's like, nah, there is. You gotta sort through it. You gotta go through 100 motherfuckers to find one. Then you gotta go through another 100 motherfuckers to find one, and it's like, you know what I mean? One shit I was listening to the DMX shit, rest in peace before he passed, and like my guy Nas, man, when he hit that track with Nas, the reason why that dude's like instrumental to me as far as the music shit is when I was growing up, catching the bus to school, cold as fuck, Baltimore, Nas, Mobb Deep, Wu, all the East Coast, that was all in my ear, and that was like my soundtrack to growing up. And so to hear Nas on that one track with DMX, and he was like, I can't remember what he said, but he was like, exact words, but he was like something about homies or something like that. It was like sometimes it was like something about you connect with your homies, but sometimes you just outgrow them and leave them there, or something like that. I forgot the exact words, but he was like, it's not that they're not your boys, but they just kind of stayed again at homecoming.
Bro. So sometimes you do gotta keep them where they at. Sometimes. And
then when you talk to them, they kind of talk to you like, hey man, you remember that time? Like, bro, like, remembering shit is cool, but like you keep remembering the same shit. You know what I mean? Every time I talk to you, like there's nothing new. And like what I'm doing is not. I need people like Quizzy to bounce shit out to bounce, because you know what I mean. I feel like just talking to you, you'll be like, hey man, do more, because I kind of poke fun of the vlog guys because I do them, but I kind of do them differently. And I went from my first 5 years on YouTube, you never see my face, never. You just videos,
right?
Just videos. And then I start talking, and the dude's like, hey man, you should do more talking on there. And I was like, people like this shit, and and now I got it comfortable in front of the camera and shit, and I can just start going. I ain't got to jazz myself up and shit. Like,
you just you.
Yeah.
You authentic to you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I love that. You can tell that you're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, it takes time, and it might take somebody saying like, hey, bro, do more of this, and you like, y'all really like some shit like
Yeah. Yeah, because it'd be like, man, yeah, because I dig your videos, man, when you did the reaction videos and because it's like, it's weird, like they get like, fuck man, whatever, man, time is irrelevant. I'm gonna get out here though, but like the game and shit, right? The game and shit, man, was it's weird, man, because I'm a gamer. I play a lot. I was like first more sports shit when I first started. Then of course got into the shooters and then racing stuff, but. The cool thing is like with Cyberpunk, that shit kind of Cyberpunk 27, whatever shit came out. I didn't even play the game, but I just watched motherfuckers play it, and it was enjoyable for me to watch other people's play games and shit. It was like I could just watch them play the game, and it's like I'm playing it, but I don't even gotta buy it. I'm just watching another dude go through the game. It's like, and I'm satisfied off of watching the dude play. Because I was I'm a Metal Gear guy, so I beat up Metal Gear Solid, all that shit. You know what I mean? I run through all that shit, but like, then it's like I just watch the dude play this or watch the dude play GTA 5. It's like, you know what I mean? When I got time, it's like I don't even gotta buy that shit. I just watch another dude play it, clear the level, and then you watch another guy. So then one channel dude talks all over the fucking video game, and then those guys I really don't, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, dude, and then the other dudes just don't say much at all and just play. And then, that kind of gets a little bit creepy. And then, like, talking a little bit, but, you know what I mean? It's shit, the technology, man, it's just...
It's crazy. Like, shout out to my boy, Corey Kenshin. Shout out to my boy, Bert Leasy. You know what I'm saying? Them guys, over 1 million subscribers, and they playing games for a living, and they just pushing they pushing it. They pushing the whole YouTube space. You know what I'm saying? Let me try something out. Let me see if this works.
Yeah. Oh, you got it on the snap. They got the sub. It's like it was a Mortal Kombat joint right there.
Yeah. Okay. Now I don't got it on the snap. I'm literally just clicking it and snapping
it. see that shit right there, man. It's like, oh, like this motherfucker got this shit on the snap. That's some dope shit. See, that's some dope shit right there, man. And like you got like it's man, that shit's dope right there. I'm like, this motherfucker got the backgrounds on the snap and shit, man.
Hey, I wish I could do that like this on the snap, man. Nah, I was just like, man, I got this crappy ass background. You got this dope ass background and shit. And
man, we did the whole joint with the bed in the background, man. It's all good, man. That shit's real, man. Cause that's so my wife be taking pictures and shit and trying to make the background. I'm like, bro, we got 5 kids, man. There's gonna be toys and shit on the floor. Like, chill out, man. So it's like it is what it is. But hey, man, Quizzy, man, thanks again for dropping in, brother. This is once we get out of here, man. Just hold on for a little bit. I'm speak. We're still live right now. So again, man, thanks for the time and everything. Again, guys, there, thanks for for checking in with us, taking time out your day, listening on SoundCloud, watching on YouTube. The reason why I say the YouTube stuff is cool because listening to like a podcast is one thing, but seeing the interaction and the mannerisms and the facial expressions, man, it's a difference. So for me, I like to actually watch podcasts more, and it's kind of torn because I got to get shit done. So I do listen a lot, but I got the screen in the background. I can look up there and see Schultz and them down laughing or making fun of the Taylor chick or whatever. But check them out, man. The audio one you could download straight from WitchCon for free, and you can stream it in SoundCloud. Now you can just press play. They don't make you have the app, but of course they're gonna try to sell you the app or download the app and everything. So let's do that. iTunes and Spotify. I'm gonna wait till my catalog gets to like 200, and then I'm actually gonna. That's what I'm gonna have to pay some. I might delegate this shit out because I ain't got time to do it. So I'm gonna pay somebody to transport all my shit over to Spotify and iTunes because it just won't happen if I had to do it. Because honestly, I got a lot of shit going on. Whatever. So, but that's one thing. To leave on a business tip. One thing I learned as a business, the growth, man, is like you can be a solo guy. I'm a solo guy, but my network is big, so I'm not alone in my network. I'm alone in my shop. I got an assistant, but you guys got to learn when to delegate out and pay for other shit because, like, you know what I mean? I can garden myself, but I had to pay somebody to cut these bushes the other day because I could have did it, but I got to pay to buy the gear. I got to do all this stuff. So, in the business stuff, you got to learn how to delegate out, and it sucks to relinquish control, but that's saving you money to make more money. So you gotta. Right. You got to learn how to do that shit. And that's been the hardest thing for me as a business is to learn when to pay other motherfuckers to do other portions of my business, not my main business. So that's what I like to leave you guys on and everything, man. And the Quizzy, man, for what I would like you to leave guys on is for the guys who are ready to start their YouTube channel, man, is give them some words of advice. And then after that, we'll sign out, man.
The best words of advice I could say is get started. Be consistent, and I don't mean that shit like no bullshit way. I'm like the only way for you to actually get out here is if you want to get 1,000 subscribers, be ready to post 150 videos. Right. If you want to get 1 million subscribers, then be ready to post 3,000 videos. And those are rough numbers, but just do that shit and you'll get where you need to go. Don't quit so early. Stop being a little punk.
Yeah, for sure, man. You heard it right there from the man, Quizzy James, man. Just get started, and then you'll look back, man. Again, this is good number for man. The episode 120, a nice solid even. That's even number, right? Yeah, that's even shit. So it's even, nice even number, man. So I try to do the things on different things or whatever. We know again, man, 120 episodes, and again, I challenge you guys who are watching, just go back and click. Actually, I'm gonna put it in the thing. Just go back and click on episode 1, and you'll just see like in 120 episodes, man, the progression. The thing is, I had the ability even at number 1, but it was just the timing and the studio. I was at my old shop, and then I moved here, and it's just like podcast studio. So it was like I don't have to tear this shit down at every podcast and turn it back into an office. That's what I was doing for the first 15, 18 episodes. I was putting lights up. And taking that shit back down and putting the mic up and taking it, and now it's just here. I press the button, I press record, and we go. So and so make it happen out there, guys. If you want to do a podcast just like Joe Rogan, I encourage everybody, man, just start your shit, man, because we all got different stories. But again, it could be 1,000 podcasts, but it's still only 1,000 people. Like Quizzy said, man, that's not a lot of fucking people, but at the same time, man, you put them in a room. Like, I mean, like, hey, man, like that's a community to talk to. So even if you got 50 subscribers, man, that's still 50 people out there, 50 individuals who took the time out to press subscribe on your shit, and they're in your community now. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is, man. So again, guys, thank you for signing in. Thank you for checking out the podcast. It's going to be Donnie signing off from South Japan. Quizzy signing off from St. Louis, Missouri.